Mini Street in the air. Black Street coming up later on in a concert venue near you. We are live at Radio Row. It's Friday. It's Friday. And yes, if you thought my brain was fried Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, right now, in fact, people are looking for brain donations, and I told them, you don't want my brain if I pass out and the Eagles win the Super Bowl on Sunday. It's Tony Bruno, Miss Robin, Luigi Curto. It is the craziest day ever, and that's what I've been telling everybody. It's a slow build. Robin has seen it. Now it's officially out of control, and we are brought to you by, here at Super Bowl 52 on Radio Row, from the great Bloomington, Minnesota, Mall of America, the great Thin Optics. Thin Optics. They're always with you, and you can see the unbelievable selection of thinoptics.com. And when you use the code Bruno, if you order Thin Optics right now, go on the website, you order it right now. You know what you're going to do? When you check out, Bonnie Jill, you put in the promo code Bruno, you get 15% off. So Bonnie Jill Laughlin is with us right now, and she is wearing Eagle green. Well, even though she's in L.A. where they now have 2 football teams, and she's a San Francisco Giant baseball fan.
Big time. Yeah, but it's funny. Everyone thinks I'm in my Eagles jersey, but it's actually a Puppy Bowl jersey. That's what I'm promoting while I'm here. And Emmett Smith comes up to me, Bonnie Jill, take off that damn Eagles jersey. And I go, no, it's a Puppy Bowl jersey.
Well, obviously the puppies are rooting for the Eagles.
No doubt about it. That's another sign.
It's another sign.
It's a sign.
Yeah, the puppies.
It's a sign. In fact, you have, when we were in Christmas shopping, you know, you're looking for little junky stuff for kids.
Right. We
bought those headsets at the Five Below store that say Philadelphia on them, and we took them here for more good karma.
So you got everything working for you, Tony.
Exactly right, except my brain.
We have some of our fans checking in.
We have fans? There they are.
Puppy, see?
No, actually, that was Hillary Clinton when she did. Remember when she did that, making fun of Trump? But it was such a great dog bark. We keep it in our system. Bonnie Jill Laplin's an old friend of mine. We go way, way back.
Way back.
Back into time. And while I keep getting older, she stays the same age, and she does everything. She knows more about the NBA than Luigi Curto, a self-professed NBA expert.
I know a lot about the NBA. But I'm not discounting her knowledge, but I'm just saying I know a lot about the NBA.
Yes, I said you do. Okay. But I said you don't know as much as Bonnie Jill.
Well, that's yet to be determined.
No, that's a given. Trust me.
She scouts for the Los Angeles Lakers. She's been an NBA scout.
Then why are they in a tank?
Because they want to be like the 76ers, and they want to get LeBron to come over there.
But I left them back in 2013.
See,
but you've been scouting NBA talent for a long time.
Long time, yeah, long time.
You know that you're still in touch with the game. We were talking about
I wouldn't have taken Lonzo.
You are
not. Then her and I can talk.
Well,
we're okay then.
I don't think you need to be a deep inside NBA insider.
And Magic kept saying, you know what? If anyone can turn this around with LeVar and Lonzo, because I can. You know, he said Magic can do it. You know, but is he?
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't like to trash a guy because his dad's a promotional nut.
Right.
Well,
I don't blame him, but
I feel bad for the kid.
I do too.
He's got too much pressure on him,
but I think that this proves that men just need to listen to us women folk. They just need to listen to us the first time around. No arguing.
I will agree that I think Brandon Ingram's going to be a good player.
Oh, I love Ingram.
He's going to be a great player.
I love him.
And Kuzma's
I love Kuzma.
Too.
I'm glad Kuzma is starting because I didn't like him off the bench. You know, Larry Nance is better off the bench.
Yep.
So,
the one guy I do like, they have trouble keeping on the court down with the rotation of guards. I always love Jordan Clarkson's game.
Oh, he's one of my favorites, and he doesn't get enough love, but Jordan's amazing. And they're all young kids.
Why are the Lakers so bad? Then we have all these. The same thing with the Sixers aren't bad. They're playing better. Embiid's healthy. He's going to the All-Star. They got 3 really good pieces now. We don't know about Fultz, and we'll talk about that. But enough about the NBA. Let's get into the business now, Bonnie Jill. Puppy Bowl, you've been involved with the Puppy Bowl for a long time.
Long time, 5 years now. And this is the 14th season, so you know that people are watching the puppies if it's 14 years now. And they've added, Tony, they've added seniors, so it's the
senior
dog
puppies.
bowl.
They did that just for me. Actually, for my son, Chris Bruno, who rescues senior dogs
I love that.
down in Delaware. And his house is full of all these poor animals that have been neglected and let go. And Robin's been there many times, and they got their house burned down last year, so they had another place in the woods that they had to throw together so they can house these poor animals. Because people don't want to. They don't want to they don't want to adopt senior
No,
dogs.
and
a
that's
lot
what
of
we
people.
always take too. Me and my family, my mom and dad, they have 13 dogs, and they're all special needs. One has 3 legs, one has, you know, is
Oh my God, it
completely
sounds
blind,
exactly like Chris
you know.
Bruno.
Yes.
Yeah,
They
and
have
it's great
15.
because no one likes special needs or seniors. They want the puppies.
Yep.
It's the same with me. Nobody wants me anymore. I'm a senior.
Yeah,
But I'm still active, though.
I'm about ready to, you know, drop him off by the side of the road.
Are you? You're done, Tony. After Radio Row Week, that's it.
That's going to be it. I'm going to be put down on Monday. Well, if the Eagles win, I may put myself down because it'll be finally be over.
Wow.
After all
Yeah.
these years, they finally get that Lombardi. And you know, you hear fans and Cleveland fans, Cubs fans, you know, I was happy when they finally won.
I was too.
Like
I
when the
always
Red Sox
I
finally
always
won.
root for the team, the underdog, and the team hasn't won it. You want to root for them.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I'm tired of Tom Brady, and I'm tired of like his excuses. And you know, if he doesn't win, there's gonna be some excuse of why he didn't win it. And I'd love to see Nick Foles, a backup quarterback, beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. You know how amazing a
and
story that
especially
is.
that.
But I don't hate Tom Brady. I mean, the guy's still.
I don't hate him.
Talk about
I mean, you
amazing.
gotta respect him on the field. I just would love to see someone else finally.
Yes, somebody else's turn.
As long as Giselle loves him and he's got everything in the
He's got
world that you
everything in
can
the
want, and
world,
the Aston
right.
Martins and everything you could want.
The fact
I
that
mean,
you
his life is. I mean, what else could he possibly achieve and accomplish when he
6.
hasn't already
Did
done?
he get 6
Nothing.
Super Bowls?
6 Super Bowls.
Carson Wentz brought the Eagles so far, and then he and Nick Foles have worked together so closely, and that he was just able to hand over the reins, and they're working together, both inside their heads and supporting each other. I think
And
it's
I've
such a
heard that.
fantastic story.
I've heard Carson Wentz has really took the high road, and
Oh,
like Alex
totally.
Smith did with
Yes.
Kaepernick, and I love seeing that because that's not always
Yep.
the case. I mean, Tom Brady wanted Jimmy G gone,
Yep.
and that happened, and
No.
now I'm happy that he's a Niner.
No,
Now-
Carson Wentz is just being fantastic.
Before we talk about the Eagle underdogs, let's get back to the Puppy Bowl dogs. Because there's 2 Puppy Bowls on Animal Planet, right?
Yes.
It's a double header.
I know.
You're going to have the Senior Dog Puppy Bowl. Well, what am I doing?
You're
Oh,
speaking
I'm
Italian in
Italian.
front of the camera, Tony.
I have to have, you know, I need tape. I need that XT tape that.
I was like, what's Robin doing?
The tape, you know, the tape that Tom. I had it on yesterday.
Oh,
the black tape.
yeah.
I need my
Show your
hands taped
fingers.
down to my. But I wouldn't be able to talk if
No,
my hands
neither
were
could
taped
I.
down to my thighs.
I'm always doing this.
Body Jill. Now you can follow. Now what's your Twitter handle so people can follow
At
you?
BJ Laughlin, and then on my other Instagram and Facebook is Bonnie Jill.
Bonnie Jill.
And the
You fo-
puppies, yes.
Are you
that's-
following me, by the way? on
I
Twitter?
always am.
Okay, I just want to
Yes.
check. That's a tradition. I have to ask everybody. And then
I've
if
known
they-
you for 20 years.
I know. Well, you better be following me. Don't follow Luigi though, because he's ornery.
What did I do?
No, I'm just kidding. See, it's easy. I can get to him very, very easily.
Oh, I saw.
He's got a short trigger. He's a Philly guy, and he's got that short trigger.
If we were all dogs right now, he'd be a bad dog. You're a bad dog, Tony. You're a
That's
mean
good to
dog.
be.
You're
Isn't
a mean
that
dog,
good?
Tony.
No, he's like the top dog.
Exactly.
Dog.
By the way, mad love to all my dogs out there. My dogs behind the walls and the dogs at the Puppy Bowl. So now the Puppy Bowl is already taped. And now I was
Right.
joking around with Scott Graham, who does the voice of the Puppy Bowl.
Yes.
Who's another Philly area guy. And, you know, Harry Callis did it for
Remember
a
Harry
while.
Callis did? I
Oh.
thought that was so legendary to have him doing the Puppy Bowl.
I used to interview
That
Harry.
brought some legitimacy to the Puppy Bowl.
I know. I used to interview in Philly. I would interview him after the baseball season when he was doing the Phillies forever. And I would actually do an interview with Harry Callis every year just to talk about the
He's
top
one of
Puppy
my
Bowl.
he's one of my favorites.
One of the
He was
all-time
one-
great
all-time
legends.
favorites when I met him. Oh wow, he was amazing.
So now it's taped. So there's probably going to be betting on it. So we already know the winner.
So do you think people should bet on the Puppy Bowl?
I don't think they should bet, but you know how degenerate gamblers
Because you know
are.
it's Team Fluff and Team Rough.
Well,
Team
what they
Fluff.
should do is they should actually have betting, but that all the proceeds go
Exactly.
Oh, a
Wouldn't that be-
charity
yes.
to go back to the rescue?
Yeah, so you
because you
bet.
know normally they have from the rescues in the city and should have been here in Minnesota, but since it was so cold they couldn't find a place that was going to be warm enough for the puppies.
Oh, yeah.
So this year it's going to be puppies from Hurricane Harvey, Puerto Rico, and Florida.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
that's awesome.
See, and then if they allowed the betting, I mean, it's all in good
Like on
fun.
the, on the split screen now because we have all those
Yeah.
fantasy stats. So at the
Oh my
bottom,
gosh, that would be hilarious.
Yes.
right, we have so
How
you
cool
have
would
the
that
scroll
be?
on the
Right.
bottom. If you like so and so, and the dogs all have names,
Yeah.
right? And then you text something to bet on that dog, and everybody
Make it happen,
wins.
Bonnie. Obviously,
And you have to have like some animal being like the sports
Yes.
The
gambler. Do you know
referee.
what I mean?
Yeah,
like you
like
know they
the
do it with
tout.
Because you know they have like they had Katy Perry was like the
Katy Perry.
It was like the halftime show, and then it had
Yes.
hamster. They're adding all these different animals every year.
Oh, that's
Wouldn't it be
fantastic.
cute if they did like I don't know an owl or something? He's like the gambler.
I agree.
Yes.
See how we're brainstorming here?
Yes.
I'm looking for a way to make Puppy Bowl bigger than it is by helping you know, the rescue
So
animals
next
that
year,
are out there every year.
You need to be the voice of the owl, Tony.
I think so.
The owl?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, and you're the one who's like gambling.
Yes. Oh, that would be hysterical.
And I can do my.
I'm actually going to bring that up to
Yes.
Animal Planet.
Bring it
Tell me
up.
how funny that would be.
It would be
I love
fantastic.
doing voiceover stuff. You know, I was on Madden 05, 06, 07, right?
Just in case nobody knew this.
I knew that.
Except the people at EA Sports don't seem to remember that I was in Madden 05, 06, 07. I have to like beg to get in. We go to the Madden Bowl last night, and I'm like, seriously? They're like, you can't sit there. I said, I'm in the area where everybody's supposed to be sitting on the second level.
They said that to you?
Yeah. I wasn't going in. I didn't have table service. I don't care about table service. I wanted some place to sit with my drink.
But remember, Tony, back when we would go and it was first getting big, it was like intimate. It wasn't like everyone. It was like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of
Special
like
people like us.
Everyone was VIPs there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now they're like
and
letting
now,
general
they wouldn't even
admission,
let
everyone
Luigi in. So Robin
Really?
and I,
No.
they wouldn't let Robin in at first. They gave me one wristband. So then
Reluctantly.
Robin had to beg.
Reluctantly.
And then Robin had to beg, and then they said, okay, we'll give you and plus one. And then we asked for Luigi, and they said no. And so now he sat at home last night, mad at us, when I'm busting my ass all week to try to get him in it. And by the way, we didn't have food. And this is a guy who was mad at 8 o'clock when I asked him to drop us off because there was no place to park. And he says, I got to eat. There was no food. If he had gotten in, he would have busted that place up because he has to eat, which is you all should do.
You get ornery if you don't eat.
Yeah. Well, you know, he works out a lot, so he burns a lot of calories.
Luigi,
So when he doesn't
would you have been able to make it to 10 o'clock? Would you be able to make it at 10 o'clock if you had gone to the EA Bowl and not had anything to eat?
No.
What would you have done there?
I would have tore that place to pieces.
Exactly. So that's why we saved you and saved the beautiful armory. Do you know the armory here? You know what that's famous for?
No, what was it?
That's where the Minneapolis Lakers played basketball.
MPLS? Oh, wow.
The Minneapolis Lakers played there before they moved to LA, and people don't realize
no one told me that.
Because, you know, this is the land of 10,000 lakes. So when the Lakers were here in Minneapolis,
well, I know that's how they have their name.
So when they moved to LA, people were saying, what the hell does Lakers mean? There's no lakes in LA. There's a couple of lakes, but they kept the name Los Angeles Lakers, but it all started right here at the Armory.
I was there and didn't even know anyone told me that. I was
that's
wondering what this
the
place
kind
was.
It was beautiful,
That's because
though,
my
inside.
journalistic roots. That's what I do.
I'm glad you knew
I don't
that.
just go to parties and sit down and say, oh, there's Dak Prescott. Oh, there's so-and-so. Oh, there's a rapper.
There is something about Dak Prescott that was kind of funny. Now, it's not the kind of thing that you want to, like, if you put it out there, media would go crazy and put it in a totally wrong direction. But Dak Prescott was down there flirting with the Eagles cheerleaders.
He wasn't flirting. They were just talking. But so in the world of the TMZs and the bar stools,
that would have been spun totally out of control.
I could have gotten 1 million retweets on this. But the difference between me and all these people who have cell phones, which is pretty much everybody on the planet, we were at the Eagles victory thing at Broad Street in one intersection, which is one of the biggest intersections, and the guy climbs up on the pole. We were right there. We were live on Facebook. The cops tell him to get down. He gets right down. Nobody was hurt. He didn't get beaten by the cops and thrown away. But that person puts that picture on TMZ or Barstool, and then it's the entire city of Philadelphia's animals. And see that? So I had so I had Robin go over. I said, Robin, do me a favor. Go over and get some video of Dak Prescott with the Eagles cheerleaders.
And I did, and then we sat back down, and we're thinking about it, and then we started talking, like, you know what, this is going to be taken so out of context.
No, it will.
Because
and
if you just send a picture or a 5-second video of Dak Prescott with the Eagles cheerleaders, that would have been spun without any context by all these idiots on Twitter who just have nothing else to do and just looking for hits, the clickbait people who are looking for hits so they can say, wow, and make it a big day. Now, was it a cute story?
They would have said something about loyalty. Oh, he wants to go. He wants to be an Eagle. I mean, they would have
Exactly.
every which way.
We were thinking originally, we're like, oh, it's kind of a funny thing. Here he is, you know, with the Eagles.
Of course.
But we were thinking of it funny. But that's
not
people won't take
how
it funny.
No, and he wasn't hitting on them. There was nothing nefarious going on. But all you had to do is post a 7-second video of Dak Prescott and Eagles cheerleaders, and these people would go nuts. So I'm giving up clickbait for my own personal good, just to show that I don't need that stuff.
1,000 words. Imagine a video.
Yeah,
exactly.
So Dak Prescott, if you're listening, you're welcome.
Exactly. Cowboy Nation, thank me, because I could have had all the Cowboy fans going crazy, which I already do every time I rip the Cowboys.
Well, of course, right.
Bonnie Jill Laughlin here. Now, that's the kind of, because that's the difference, because I've done this so long. It's so easy to have a cell phone and catch somebody doing something. Obviously, with somebody beating somebody up, that's evidence.
But that's what fans are doing all week long, right? They're trying to catch these players doing something when they're going into the clubs. Here, I mean, you know.
And you know what? That's the world we live in. but just be responsible. I know people aren't journalists. People with a phone, they actually are now becoming journalists because they'll be in a place where a regular reporter or a TV station won't be, and they'll actually get good footage, like of a storm when when a house is being washed away. TV stations can't be everywhere.
Right.
But in this case, people are using it for the wrong reasons.
But you just have to be respectful, and like, I don't know. You would think that people would just want to be here just to have fun, but there are a lot of people trying to get like a story.
Exactly. Bonnie Jill Laughlin joining us. So Blake Griffin gets traded the other day. We were talking before you came on. You had inside info on this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I already knew that Jerry West is wanting to shake it up. And you know how when it comes to Jerry West, the mastermind, the logo, that he is going to get it done. And Steve Ballmer basically gave him the reins finally and said, hey, do what you need to do. And so he's made sure to ship off Blake to Detroit, which is another place I think Blake wanted to go to, is Detroit.
But he found out on Twitter too, right?
Yeah, and Andre Drummond, now he's going there with a good team. I'm not, right? I don't think it's going to be a bad deal for Blake, but.
No, it's not bad for Blake. It's bad for the Clippers, I think.
Well, they're just trying to get, things.
Room for LeBron. Now, would LeBron go to the Clippers?
Nobody should find out anything like that on Twitter, though. I mean,
what I've been being told is that
Alex Smith found out on Twitter that he was traded the other day.
And again, we'll see what happens with this, but that Steve Ballmer will buy out T. Lue's contract with Cleveland, bring him as the coach, get rid of Doc, because Doc is on his way out, as you guys probably know.
See, my
problem. And LeBron is with the Clippers.
See, my problem with LeBron, listen, he can do whatever he wants, and he did it with the first time, and he went to Miami, and then he went back home, and then he won.
The land.
But now, he obviously has control of his own destiny, which is why I do the podcast. You want to control your own thing. But to do that to the fans of Cleveland again.
That's what I think is really
that's
bad.
So you're going to have them go out burning jerseys again on July 7th?
And how about all this win for the land and all this stuff about the land, and now you're going to leave to chase another ring? I don't know. That's where I lack respect for him, is the loyalty to his own city.
I get it. Everybody wants you. We all have egos. When everybody wants you and you're the missing piece, I get that, and LeBron hears that and sees that. But Cleveland's his hometown. And again, I'm not telling you. He can do whatever he wants. Just like we all made fun of the stupid the TV show, The Decision, with the smoke and the guys all coming out.
Coming up
like
in the rap.
WWE stuff. Vince McMahon would have loved that. But it was a joke.
It was a joke.
It was embarrassing for the league.
And he's bought his second home now in L.A. Not one home, but two.
Well, when you got that kind of money, you got to have. I have rental property everywhere. They're called timeshares.
Everything he's doing with all his production company, and he's got so much stuff going on. L.A. is a good fit for him, for his brand, because I know that's what he wants to do.
I put on my resume, I have properties all over the world. They're Airbnbs. I don't need to buy a house when I'm only going to go there 1 week every year, right?
Know.
It's an outrage. Now, unless I had $100 million in the bank.
Right, then it's easy. So
all right, Bonnie Jill, Puppy Bowl.
Yes.
Halftime, Eagles green. You're rooting for the Eagles. Can we put you on record?
I'm rooting for the Eagles. I want to see Nick Foles upset Tom Brady. You heard it from me. And that's weird, because I would never root for the Eagles, ever.
Why?
Sorry. I'm a Cowboys fan. You know that.
How can you be a Cowboys fan living in L.A.?
I know.
I hate to do it to you, Bonnie Jean. Give her one of those, Luigi.
Well, you know, I was a cheerleader for the Cowboys.
I know that.
And I'm really close to the Jones family, and so I've.
You have to give her a break.
They've been really good to me, and I've been loyal. Considering Cowboy fans, it's hard.
Now that you're in L.A. with two teams, can you still be loyal to the Dallas Cowboys and not the Rams or the
Rams or the Chargers?
Really?
Or the Raiders or anyone else.
Wow.
However, are you excited, though, that there's going to be a stadium built and that the Super Bowl is probably going to be able to, it's going to come out there? I mean, that's...
Right. It's just funny because they came with, there's no teams in L.A. Now they have, two
I think
teams.
that's...
It was like USC football was the team.
I'm going to miss going to the filthy, dirty, slimy, smoke-filled Hollywood Park racetrack and casino now. I know they did a new casino.
Fun, right?
I love going to Hollywood Park.
I know, and now it's gone.
It's like it was old school. One of the old school
tracks. I am glad, though, that the
tracks.
Rams came back. Like it wasn't another team that came out because
they were the LA Rams.
Right. So it's nice that the Rams are back. If I'm going to root for anyone, probably the Rams, I guess. I don't know. I just don't really care about either team.
I do think it's weird because
and look at the stands when you watch the games. We're
you
talking about this. No, it's the opponent team that
the Eagles filled
and
up.
Has all the fans.
The Eagles filled up in the Charger Stadium down in Carson. It was all Eagle fans.
Right.
And the Coliseum is massive, and that was half Eagle fans at least, right?
I know. That's what I'm saying. No one really cares in LA. I'll be honest with you. And they've all gone like once, and then they're like done.
Who do they care about now?
I feel bad,
the
though.
Dodgers, right? I guess.
Well, they care about the Dodgers, the Lakers, and then a lot of those people are all from everywhere, transient, just like anywhere else, and so they all have their teams, their football teams that they wherever
I think
they're
it'll
from.
happen. It's just going to be a little while.
And
for
the Rams
it to
were good this year.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't get a better situation because expansion teams stink for a few years.
Yeah.
The Rams come back, they weren't good, but they get a quarterback, and then the first year it was the second year they're playing great.
Right.
And they're still not taking over the town.
I just
think
feel
the new
bad
stadium may help.
I feel bad for the Chargers though. Like in San Francisco area, you have the Niners and then you have the ugly stepchild.
The Raiders.
The Raiders. So I'm happy for the Raiders that they're going to Vegas. I think it's going to be.
And you know why the Super Bowl is going to be in Vegas now
Can you
too.
imagine that?
And it's going to be back in Los Angeles.
What a circus
It's going to be amazing.
Oh,
but
man.
I don't think a town should have more than one team. It's just
See,
not fair.
But look
to
at
the
LA.
second.
They got 2 hockey teams. They got 2 baseball teams, 2
basketball
but
teams.
even
teams.
two football.
There's like.
But they don't have 2 soccer teams anymore because Chivas is
No,
gone.
Chivas is gone. Yeah. So they've got the
Outrage.
Galaxy now.
Exactly.
But
is
everyone
Beckham
in
still
LA
playing
has-
for him? No, he's in Miami.
No.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
But people in LA too, they've got so many things going on with the entertainment world too. You got to think about it. So they don't get.
Yeah.
I
Well,
know.
Tony used to say it all the time. In LA, the reason why there's not as many football fans is because you get up in the morning and you want to go outside. You don't want to be inside watching a
But
game.
what I love about living in LA is at 10 o'clock, I would get up at 9:30 on a Sunday morning, make my coffee, eat a croissant or a pain au chocolat, and then I would turn the games on at 10 a.m., and then at 2 o'clock I would turn them off and go out for the rest of the day and not even watch the Sunday night game. And even if you wanted to,
Well,
it was
it starts
over
so
by
early in LA, the games.
Yeah.
Then you enjoy the sunshine, even in the wintertime, and ride your bike on
That's true.
down the beach where we lived in Venice. I stayed in shape. Now I'm
You're right down the street from me. I'm Marina Del Rey.
Yeah, well, I lived I was on the other side of Washington when I
Okay.
moved there, and then I moved across the street, really on the other side of Washington, near Abbott Kinney,
Right.
and had a big house there.
I
Which
do miss the weather in LA.
I miss
miss
my
the
house in
weather.
LA.
The
I
house
miss
was
the house.
awesome.
I missed the PCH.
When I left LA, it was 85, and then I came here and it was -4.
They rub it in right now. Give her another one of those, Luigi. I hate to do it to Bonnie Jill because I love her. Bonnie Jill's picking the Eagles, but the most important thing is puppy ball. So at halftime, forget about Justin Timberlake.
Well, this is before, so it's 3 o'clock Eastern time.
Wasn't there a halftime thing too?
Well, halftime for the Puppy Bowl, but there's, they don't want to compete.
They're not
with the Super Bowl.
conflicting. So
Oh,
they're
okay,
playing this
okay.
before the game even starts.
All right, so
So
it's
you can
before
watch
the game.
puppies and then watch the big game.
Because you don't want to watch like 6 hours of pre-game
It's
stuff.
perfect. You can watch puppies and then you watch the underdogs.
Exactly.
Oh, a lot of Eagle fans asked me that. They said, Puppy Bowl, you got the underdog? So,
Aw.
yeah, cute, right? Do I get a cute little sound?
Give her something. Give me another dog bark there, Luigi.
She wants a cute
You can
sound.
see Luigi's not
You see
happy
the
right now.
I just want to speak.
See, there we go.
Bonnie Jill, I love you. It's great to see you every year
Yes,
at the
thank you
Super
for having
Bowl.
me on. It's always fun. Even
And
though
next
this
time
is kind
I'll
of crazy here
let
at the
you and
mall.
Luigi go at it on NBA knowledge. We don't have
I
enough
like
time.
Luigi. We were already on the same page.
No, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
I like to get him riled up, so to speak. I know how to
I don't
push
want
his
to cut
buttons.
off the interview. That's why
I like to push his buttons every once in a while. And then you see him, he gets angry. He's about to become the Lou Ferrigno as a Hulk.
I was going to say the Hulk.
Exactly, right?
I've been efforting to get some stuff for the table here and trying
Some
to take care of
calamari
it.
for the
Yeah, man,
table?
I'm doing the production stuff behind
You like calamari and stuff?
Yeah, is that what we're going to have next time?
We're going to have it
whenever
soon.
we
We got to go
want.
catch
We
a plane.
we've been having food every single day
Oh,
except
yeah,
for
you're
today.
ordering tacos, I heard you say.
Yes.
I got some tacos coming.
Yeah.
Are you an ahi fan?
And we got
can have
but
whatever.
you're leaving, but we would give you a free.
Yeah, hook her up, man.
If you want to go, you got to leave. We're hooked up with Cantina Laredo. You know Cantina
Oh,
Laredo.
wait, I love Mexican food. Is that what you were talking
This is
to?
tableside guac at no charge, and
nice.
also
I love
a
guacamole.
complimentary Casa Rita from Cantina Laredo.
See,
But you have to do it here at the Mall of America.
The other hosts don't give me all
They
this.
don't give you
See?
anything.
They don't give you anything.
No.
We give you
I get
all sorts of
candy and like.
You get Skittles, which is
And
like so
ice
3 years
cream
ago.
and-
Marshawn Lynch, nobody cares anymore. Even the Raider fan, no, they still care about him.
I don't think Gruden cares.
No, I don't think he does either.
Are you leaving right this second?
I'm leaving here, but I'll be right here.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're still going to be in Radio
Yeah.
Row? When Cantina comes over, come over. You can
Oh,
grab some
nice.
tacos.
You get a
Okay,
little
thank
nosh
you.
before you get on the plane.
Yeah,
you don't want
that's
to.
so
Are you
nice.
flying nonstop back to L.A.?
No, I'm connecting.
Where?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you could
That's-
get a
which one,
double weather
O'Hare?
whammy.
I know. That's
O'Hare?
why I get stuck like midway.
Yeah.
Because I get stuck anywhere, anytime in Dallas or Chicago
Chicago's
during
the
this time, I
worst.
get scared.
I do too. I get scared every time I go to Dallas because they don't like me down there. No, they're great
I
people
like
there too.
you.
Yeah, they're great in Dallas. Like, everywhere I go, the people, they hate Philadelphia, but then I go and represent my city well and show people that we're not all disgusting, imbecilic idiots. Just some of us are.
Just
Bonnie Jill,
All the Eagle fans have been really nice to me, and I've told them I'm a Cowboys fan, and they're not mean. And when I came down to the Phillies game with the Giants during the NLCS, those fans were really nice to me. I'm going to be honest, and I was scared.
Were you wearing a Giants jersey?
Yes, I was wearing all Giants, all orange and black. And not one of them said anything mean to me.
Media gives everybody a bad rep, and it's just the few. And those few, I actually think that the people that are a-holes, the fans that are a-holes, they should be cut off from going to games. They should not be allowed.
Bad fans in every city.
Exactly.
Yes,
and again, I'm not defending any of the idiots in Philly, so please, I'm not defending them.
That's the only way to teach them a lesson. If you react badly, you should not be allowed to go to a game anymore.
They pull tickets from people, season tickets. You don't think those people can get back in?
Of course they can.
There should be. Well, now with all the electronics and them having to show ID, they should not be allowed back in. No,
they shouldn't be allowed to even watch a game on television. They should have their cables cut. They should have their tubes cut. They should have
no more procreation for you.
They should be shut down and put in a holding cell underneath the stadium.
No matter what city you're in, you give a bad reputation to everybody else.
I just think there's bad fans in every city.
Yeah, they are.
So. I was in L.A. when they were burning cop cars in front of Staples Center when the Lakers beat the Pacers.
When they won. I know.
And I was inside the studio at street level right on Figueroa, and they wouldn't let us leave.
I've never understood when you win why you're going to destroy your city. I've never understood
Jack Nicholson was leaving. He couldn't get his limo out of the parking lot.
We couldn't get out. We had to stay in there with Dr. Buss and everyone in this little cubby forever.
So it happened. Vancouver burns down their city when they lose Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that means Philadelphia fans should do the same thing and get a free pass. Nobody should get a free pass.
No, not at all.
Except the ones I gave you.
Yes.
For Cantina Laredo.
Thank you so much, Tony.
You are so
welcome. I want to get a picture, too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'll take one for me.
Let us, we're starting to do this now, even though we don't take breaks. Let's just do like a little
musical interlude. You got any gangster in there?
We don't have to stand up. I'm just going to have a sitting, and I'll just turn around, and he'll snap.
All right, but I don't want to do it while we're on there because I want to continuity. So, Luigi, you have just a little like a bumper music, as we like to say. Okay. What do you got for us today, Luigi?
You want gangster?
Give me some gangster. As long as it's not like real gangster. Oh. It doesn't get any better than this song. You can play this song anywhere, anytime, and people immediately start.
Stand up.
I played in my sleep. Yeah. I lived to this song.
Oh, I love it.
That's what I do.
Yeah. We're coming right back. We're live on Radio Row, Mall of America, baby. It's the Bold North. With Bold, Bonnie, Joe Laughlin. You know who's going to join? Rod Carew is coming on the show today.
I love his story, by the way.
Oh, I love Rod Carew.
It makes me cry.
No, I'm not going to be able to stay.
I know.
Who else is coming up today? So many people, Robin. The list is endless.
Andrew Zimmern.
Andrew Zimmern from the Travel Channel.
Did you give Bonnie her thin optics?
I gave her thin optics.
Oh, yeah,
we'll give her more thin optics. We'll give her calamari for the table.
We'll be back in less than a minute.
We're just going to stay here.
Stay here. Don't go back to L.A. We're coming right back, though. Stick around. It's Tony Bruno Show live on Radio Row on Super Bowl Friday, yo.
you to your son too for doing that, because that's really awesome. I love it. Nice to meet you.
Rod Carew will be over in a second. We're back. We didn't really go anywhere except to give Bonnie Jill love, and she smells terrific. She looks terrific, too. She's an amazing lady.
No, I love all the people that are checking in. They're watching us live, and I love the fact that they're having like little conversations amongst themselves because we're so busy. Normally, we have a chance to react to them and talk back to them, but I want to thank all of our people that are on here. Jason Nemiroff, Clark Simpson, Roger Patton, Josh B. Gum. There's so many people. I want to apologize that the last couple of days we really haven't been able to take any phone calls, and it's gotten worse.
Yeah, because we have so many people coming on the show today.
So many people.
So I don't want people to call in and hang on and then we never get to them.
Which is
that's
sad
not fair.
And rude. So we most likely.
Luigi wanted to get Busta Rhymes on today too, right? You're a big Busta Rhymes fan.
We will most likely not be able to take any phone calls. You
know
might
who
get
we
a
have
chance.
to get on though, Robin?
Oh, there he is.
We have to get Kevin Harlan on the program. My man, Kevin Harlan. Kevin Harlan.
Hold on, let me go get him.
Tony's screaming for Kevin Harlan.
Kevin Harlan. If he sees me, he'll come over. See, I don't need to have people chasing down, other than when Robin ran down Andrew Zimmern in San Francisco 2 years ago, because nobody saw him. And I said, Robin, that's Andrew Zimmern. She literally ran after him in the Moscone Center in San Francisco, the convention center, and brought him over.
No, this is awesome, man. There's a ton of people showing up today. That's great. Hey, he just noticed you. He'll probably come back over.
He says, I want him. I prefer women saying that. But when Kevin Harlan wants you, he is the best. Now, Marv Albert's great. There's a lot of great play-by-play guys, but Marv can do anything. Yeah, but Kevin Harlan on an NBA game?
Nah, there's nobody better, man.
He is phenomenal,
Maybe Jim Nance at the Masters, so that's about it.
Yeah, but that's a more subdued crowd.
That is true.
Kevin Harlan, what he does great is he stays with the pace of the game. When the pace gets up, he goes up. When the pace is just smooth, he stays smooth. That's the way sports, in my opinion, and again, I'm not criticizing anybody else's style, but that's what I love about Kevin Harlan. And he's going to do the Super Bowl on radio, so he's the voice on the Super Bowl coverage on Westwood One. So that's why he's over here.
That's awesome.
And I don't think the Timber Puppies are playing tonight, are they?
No, they played last night. That was a game I was watching at the bar by myself.
Now, did they win or lose, the Timberwolves?
They were smoking the Milwaukee Bucks.
Didn't the Milwaukee Bucks beat the Sixers the night before?
Everybody beats the Sixers the night before, Tony.
No, all the bad teams beat the Sixers and give up 116 points in doing so.
I left in the fourth quarter. Milwaukee was down like 20-something.
You were at the game?
No, I was watching at the bar. I went to the Iron Door by myself.
Loved it. Did you go to the Green Door afterwards and go behind it?
No.
I'm sorry.
No happy ending last night?
There was zero happy ending.
Did you go to Minnesota Tinder? There was a story about that. Did you see that in the paper?
No.
A reporter did a story. I sent it to you, figuring maybe you could swipe right or left a couple times last night while we were suffering with no food at the EA Sports Bowl.
There's breaking Tinder stories?
Apparently there's a story I saw last night that Minnesota Tinder is blowing up this week.
Dude.
Seriously.
Well,
I don't make that stuff up.
People are trying to stay warm somehow, Tony.
Damn right. Ain't nobody going outside and meeting somebody on a street corner for Tinder.
Now
you got to hook up somewhere
Rod
warm.
Carew his handler just came and said that he's making his way
so
over here, but he's just a little bit slow.
As they say on football games and basketball, we're going to keep it right here until Rod Carew shows up. Because I don't want to start another interview that we taped earlier today. Well, like Andrew Zimmern we
did so many in a row. We came in here just trying to relax for a little bit, and all of a sudden everybody came in. Yeah, it was
and
nuts,
do what
man.
a lot of radio shows do. They tape a bunch of interviews and then run them back to back to back to back and then go out drinking and don't do anything. We can do that later, but we're going to play taped interviews and then live interviews. I'd rather have somebody come in here live, but they're not all here all day. So we're here at 10:30 in the morning doing stuff, and then when we go on the air at 2, we had so many, we went live early.
We had to turn some people
We
down,
didn't give you bonus extra coverage. We gave you bonus early coverage. And we got our big party. We're handing out stickers to the folks out there now for the Tony Bruno Super Bowl party. Now, see if you can see this on the monitor, Robin, for me, please. I'm holding it up to the camera.
Yes, you can. Just a little bit closer, Tony.
A little bit closer.
There,
that's what she
not
said.
Not quite so far. Not quite so close. There you go.
Tell me
Perfect.
where I am right now.
Right there. Perfect.
See what it says? Fly, Eagles, fly. The only Eagles big game viewing party in Mini, as Robin likes to call it.
A little bit higher.
Higher, right there.
A little bit higher.
That's a good spot.
A little bit higher. There it is.
And I'm reading it backwards, which is pretty hard to do. Starting at 3 p.m., no cover charge. Let me repeat. No cover to get into the door at one of the best brewery restaurants in Minnesota. And that, of course, is going to be the Town Hall Brewery. Let Robin put it up on her camera because I can't see it. I can't see what I'm just holding it up, but it's not the right spot.
Put your thin optics on. Maybe it'll help.
No, I can see. I can't see where it's lined up with the camera because I'm holding it up to the front of the camera from behind.
That's how you do it, Tony. So just go. If you actually go onto the townhallbrewery.com website, you will be able to find even more information there.
So
we're starting at 3 p.m.
Yep.
And if you're down here, we can also hand you this little slip. But there's no excuses for any Eagles fans saying that they don't have a nest to fly to.
The Eagles drum line is going to be there. They've announced they're going to be there.
Really?
Yes. And so after the show, Luigi will be doing his best Las Vegas Strip flip card.
I don't know what's going on, but this program is just crapping out.
Yep.
You know, on Vegas when you walk down the strip and they're doing the flip cards, you go through the gauntlet.
Gauntlet, yep.
And it's all like strippers.
You could make it rain with this stack here, Tony.
Luigi could be like one of those big, and the chicks will dig him because Luigi's buff. You know, he's got the growth gone. Chicks dig that because you look like you're a bold North kind of guy.
Yeah.
You look like you look like the guy who was the guy on the paper towel rolls?
The Brawny Man?
Brawny Man,
the Brawny Man.
Except you don't have a plaid shirt on.
I can get one.
Can you get a plaid shirt?
I'm sure we could find one in Minnesota, Tony.
You can borrow Mike Jarek had one of those big Brawny shirts on.
And he's got the work boots already.
I like Jarek's shirt.
It was a great shirt.
It was a nice eagle green. Now, where was Jarek this morning, by the way?
I guess he was here doing a show, but we hooked him up to a party. This is the kind of pull that I have here on Radio Row. You see all the guests are happy when we give them swag?
We have the best swag around. Actually,
Bonnie Jill?
No,
Jill was
everybody. She's excited. She wanted an extra package for her dad. Everybody that's gotten the Thin Optics are like, these are the best swag on Radio Row.
It
Everybody
really
else
is.
giving like Skittles and candy, but you're actually giving us something that we need.
And if the person that gets it doesn't need it, they know somebody in their life.
Yes.
Like if you're under 40, you probably don't need, help reading things up close. But then it seems, and Bonnie Jill said the same thing, it's starting to slowly go down as far as reading is concerned. Robin wears them, I wear them, and a lot of people wear them because that's what you do now. That's what you do. Rod Carew is about to join us. And don't forget, the show is being brought to you, the video portion of the show is being brought to you by our great sponsors at Switchboard Live, Robin. You see some people do Periscope only, some people do Facebook. There's all these great video options out there. But thanks to Jason Fulbrook and the people at Switchboard.live, we have now been able to put together for you Switchboard Live, the ultimate in video distribution, the ultimate video distribution platform. You get more online views when you go through their multi-publish feature. Enables you to be live on multiple sites at the same time. So this show right now, right here in Minnesota on Radio Row, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, wherever you want to be, Switchboard Live will put you there, baby. Switchboard. It's how you do it live. And nobody knows how to do it live, except Bill O'Reilly, maybe, every once in a while.
We'll do it live.
You want to find out more? Visit switchboard.live. Switchboard.live and follow Switchboard Live on Facebook and Twitter. I'm telling you, all you people out there doing podcasts and even any kind of video stream, you don't just have to be a podcaster. You want to send out things, video. You need a lot of bandwidth to send things out through one video source. Switchboard Live handles all of that. You feed them one stream, boom. You don't cross the streams either. You feed them the stream, and the stream goes strong.
It's magic.
Just like when you get older. When you go to the bathroom and you're a guy, you want to make sure the stream is always strong.
And not only that, but like if you're a producer, their platform is so easy to use now. It's fantastic.
We have people handing notes now.
I'm getting multiple notes, and the reason why, Tony, now, again, I've been getting a lot of crap, well, and rightfully so, for being on my phone a lot this week, but I've been doing a lot of things, and one of the things I was looking at while you were doing your read there, Tony, is that I just got a text message from Jay over at Cantina who said he'll be here in 15 minutes with tacos for the table.
Oh, beautiful. By the way, speaking of greatness, I mean, I've been so fortunate in my life to interview.
This is an honor, man. This is a freaking honor.
It's an honor for me, and I've pretty much interviewed everybody that you can think of, from 5 presidents to every athlete, except Michael Jordan, because he's harder to get than the Pope. I could probably get an interview with the Pope before I can get one with Michael Jordan.
Really?
But when we travel around, you know, there's legends in every city in this country. Luigi's a legend in Mayfair.
I am it's my island, Tony. It is my island.
It's your world, and you're in it. I'm not a legend anywhere, but we have a man here.
This is just still like beyond belief for me, Tony. When we heard this was going to happen yesterday, I was like, I had to reread the paperwork. I'm like, is this the right last name? Are we saying this correctly? Ladies and gentlemen, seriously, man. I mean, getting ready to sit in this seat is
just relax.
I am relaxed.
As Alex Smith said, not Alex Smith, as what's his face in Minnesota, in Green Bay.
Minnesota? You mean Green Bay? Oh, I have that actually right here.
Alex Smith said once.
No, Aaron Rodgers did.
R-E-L-A-X. Just relax.
Okay.
So Rod Carew is coming over here now, and when you talk about the greats in Minnesota history, you talk about, there's a lot of names. We mentioned Harlan Killebrew, who's no longer with us. You know, we had the Purple People Eaters on here. The Purple People Eaters are here, but now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who's an icon on 2 franchises. Not just the Minnesota Twins all-time greats, but also then went to the California Angels before they became the Anaheim, Los Angeles, Disneyland-adjacent Angels. They were simply the California Angels, and his number 29 is retired by 2 franchises. He's a legend. It's an honor to meet him. I probably talked to him over my years because I'm old enough to remember when this was Metropolitan Stadium and Rod Carew played here. In fact, we went down the other night, Rod, and we were at the home plate pretending that we were batting where you played so many great games here. Thank you so much for being here, and we're so happy to see that you're doing well. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you, and it's great to be back. It's always good to come back to the Twin Cities, you know, because they treat me so well here. And every time I come back, I get a warm feeling of...
Except outside, because it's not a very warm feeling.
Well, yeah, true, that's true. But I love living here. You know, I lived here for 12 years when I played here. I wasn't one of the guys that as soon as the season was over, I was gone. Tony Oliva and I stayed here for the, you know, during the rest of our careers.
You know, a lot of the younger listeners, Philadelphia and all over the world, where they're listening to this and watching it on Facebook and all the other... They remember, like, Pete Rose was the hit king long after you, but he played in your era. But you were, to me, and all the players I've seen, and I've seen a lot of great hitters over the years, I mean, it was so natural. The crouch, you just, it must have looked like a grapefruit when that ball was coming up for you.
Well, not only a grapefruit, but it stopped right there and say, hit me. You know, I don't know. I was fortunate to have been blessed with a talent that a lot of people couldn't do. So I enjoyed it. I worked at it. And that's the only way you can continue to get better. I was never satisfied. If I got 2 hits one day, I wanted 3. If I got 3, I wanted 4. I had fun with it.
And, you know, and we're talking about with the greatness of the Minnesota Twins. And you didn't even play high school ball. You were born in Panama on a train, right?
Right.
And then you were moved to New York. And the scout for the Minnesota Twins saw you playing with a broomstick and bottle caps, right? Swinging bottle caps with a stick.
Yeah, we used to, you know, in the neighborhood, that's what we used to do. And then I started playing sandlot, and you know, I enjoyed it so much that when I went to play my first year was my senior year that I went out to play for. And the coach said I wasn't good enough, and 2 years later, I was in the big leagues.
And Rookie of the Year in your first year, I mean, the numbers for people who don't know, 7 batting titles. Rookie of the Year in your rookie year. The first 2 years were the only years you didn't hit 300. And then you hit 300 for the rest of your career, batting average 328, 3,053 hits, 353 stolen bases, and 7 steals of home. So how many of the steals of home were right here in Metropolitan Stadium, now the amusement park here, the Universal Park?
Ooh, I would say maybe 4, at least 4 of them.
7 in 1 year had only been done by a couple of players, and I don't think it's ever going to be done again.
No, I don't think so either, because as soon as a runner gets on third that can run, pitchers go to the stretch. Back then, they never went to the stretch. They just kept going to the windup, even though they knew that I might try and steal home. And so they dared me, and I did it.
And then they trade you to the California Angels in '79, and you go out there and continue your incredible career until it came to an end. But to be your number 29, to be retired for 2 franchises, I know most people remember your Twin career, but your Angel career was incredible as well.
Well, I've enjoyed myself out there also. You know, it was fun. Mr. Archer was fun. Treated us all like regular guys, and never cared if you were a superstar or how much money you were making. He would always come down, sit in the clubhouse with us, and talk about the good old Western days. And so we used to have fun with him.
Now, Rod Carew is with us, and an honor to be here, but we talk about all your accomplishments in life, the baseball, the MVPs, everything that's gone on. But the major accomplishment, most recent, and it has to be the biggest, is what happened in December when you, a couple of years ago, playing golf, had a heart situation, and then you were on the donors list, right, for a heart, and then something happened and your life changed, and you're still with us as a result.
Well, I wasn't on the donor list yet until I had the massive heart attack, and since then, you know, it's been great because I found a family that I'm carrying around their son's heart in me. I've got a Maserati beating inside of it instead of a Volkswagen. So we've become close. We've become one family now. We're called the Carew lads, and it's great, you know. And I'm just happy to be here.
Conrad Rulin is the young man we're talking about. He died, ironically, at age 29 of a brain aneurysm. He was a guy who had his own career, and then he had the brain aneurysm and died. So you didn't know, his family didn't know who his brain was going to because he donated his heart. He donated his heart, and then you got the heart and didn't know it was from him, and his family didn't know it was for you, right?
Well, you know, I'd met Conrad when he was about 11 years old. He went to school with my kids, and I met him because I was there to watch a basketball game. And he came up to me, started talking to me, and I talked to him, and the next thing you know, here I am walking around with this kid's heart inside of me, and we're trying to do good things. You know, we're trying to give people the opportunity to have a good life, and we're trying to get people to donate life to them because it's the greatest gift that you can give to someone.
Now, you also had a personal issue in your family, and donations are big, but talk about the 29 situation. It's called the 29 Fund, right?
Well, it's the Heart of 29.
The Heart of 29.
Yes, and the Twins have really taken part in it, and they're pushing us to do well. So to go out and talk to people, you know, give them a chance to go get checked, go donate parts of your body that, you're not going to take all of it with you when you die, but if you can help someone else that's waiting on the donor list, why not?
On my license, I'm a donor. I don't know who would want my old body parts, but, you know, if you can save somebody else, it's a great thing. So how do people donate if they want to help your cause?
Mary, would you take that?
Now, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name because you guys came over and sat down.
I'm actually Conrad's mom,
Oh.
the donor.
Well, God bless you, and thank you so much.
My son Conrad that played in the NFL. In April of 2016, 7 months before his brain aneurysm presented itself, he checked the box on his driver's license renewal form. If you're not in line to get that done pretty soon, you can go to donatelife.org and you can become a donor.
Mary Newland, and you mentioned where you can go, but when I said earlier that even though you families knew each other and Rod Carew knew your son, that when they actually do the donation, they don't tell you who you're getting it from, even if you may know that person, right?
I need to clarify. He met Conrad for maybe 5 minutes when Conrad was about 11. It's not like we knew each other. So no, that there was no preconceived that he's going to get Conrad's heart. We had no idea. That came to me at Conrad's vigil and at his funeral in December, couple weeks after Rod got his transplant. people were asking me, because Conrad being an NFL player and was known in our area, and Rod, of course, being known everywhere, do you think it could be Rod Carew? Do you think it could be Rod Carew? And I had no idea what they were talking about. I was in my son's hospital room for 2 weeks, not knowing what was going on beyond that. And he, I almost passed out when somebody laid out the timelines for me of Rod got a heart and a kidney from a young boy that was 29 from UCLA the same day that Conrad donated. I go, you've got to be kidding. So there's just too much to not let it be. So I went home, and on Christmas Day, I looked up Rod Carew, and there was just no way that it couldn't be. It had to be.
Wow.
It really did. 29 years of age, number 29. And here it is. This surgery happened in December. We're talking 2 months ago. You had a heart transplant 2 months ago.
A year and 2 months.
I mean, a year and 2 months. But still, he's walking around, and then it's not a miracle, but the progression we've made in surgery and heart transplantation and lung transplantation has been remarkable.
It's been unbelievable what the medical world has come up with and continue to come up with to save lives. And we want people to know that if you get the opportunity that you can give the gift of life, don't be afraid to donate parts of your body.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, not all hearts can go to anybody. It has to be a match as well, correct?
Yeah, there's more, and that was Rhonda didn't believe it was Conrad because Rod has a different type of blood. And I said, well, Conrad has an O negative, but it's not just the blood. They also have to match tissue and other things, and Conrad's was a perfect match for Rod.
Wow.
Also a perfect match for the lady that got his other kidney and the gentleman that got his liver. The lady for his other kidney, she was waiting for a kidney transplant for over 5 years. No family, nobody could match, but your son was a perfect match, she
That's
told
amazing.
me.
You know, losing a child is the worst thing that can happen to any parent.
Absolutely.
But knowing that your child has now saved several other lives, is there a redeeming thing about that? Does that make you feel better? Nothing can take him back, but knowing what happened as a result.
He's still here.
He is still here. You were walking proof of it.
Yeah, I like to say losing my son is a tragedy I'll never get over, but what has happened since, in the months and years that have happened since, the whirlwind of events that have happened, have been a blessing.
So once again, everybody do it. When you get your license renewed, it's right on there. You check organ donor, and that's what happens.
Now,
and then you'll know.
I have one last question regarding organ donation. To be an organ donor, is it that person has to be the one to make that check ahead of time? Or as a parent, can you, if your child has not done that yet, and God forbid something happens to your family, can you make the decision for them?
Well, they did come into the room, and I knew that Conrad was an organ donor because he and I sat down together, and he said, Mom, should I be? And I said, you know, it's up to you. But no, you're absolutely right. While they're in that state, if they can't make that decision for themselves, so then it falls on the family to make that decision.
Which is such a hard decision to make.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I think that family members have so much guilt and, well, am I doing the right thing? And is this what they wanted? And what if I make this decision and they weren't ready to go yet? I mean, there's all sorts of things that are going through your head. So do your family a favor and make the decision for them ahead of time.
Well, yeah, some of them are too young. They don't have. I've been approached by friends and people that their friends don't drive, and they're like maybe 7 or 8 years old, but they've seen this story, and they're saying, I want to be an organ donor because Conrad was an organ donor. But you're right, you take it out of the hands. And there's a myth, and this is why I think people don't sign up. They're afraid that maybe they won't, and I was afraid of this, maybe they won't really try to save your loved one as much if they know that there's people waiting for that heart. But can I dispel that myth that they did everything above and beyond to try to save Conrad. He just wasn't going to make it. This was what he was meant to be here, trying to save other people's
It's all
lives.
about the brain activity, and when it's gone, and there's really no question whether somebody's still there or not.
Absolutely.
At the very end.
And had he have survived, we don't know what kind of state he would have been in, and he would have been looking at me with hate in his eyes, because you don't go from 6'6", 270 pounds, peak of health, to being, we don't know where he would have been. He wouldn't have been happy with where he would have come out of it. So this was God's will.
Well, Mary, our condolences, but obviously everybody who's listening to this and knows this story have to be proud of your son and what you've gone through, and for Rod to be sitting here, one of the all-time, and it doesn't matter if you're one of the all-time greats, certainly you save anybody's life, it's a
Right.
great thing. But then you know that Rod Carew has your son's heart in his body. I mean, it's a movie.
It's
I mean,
a
it's a
platform.
movie.
Yep,
It is.
absolutely.
This not a Lifetime movie, because those are just too many. I mean, it's a serious movie that should be made.
I agree.
And there's still a lot. The good thing is there's so much great video of Rod Carew when you were playing. You know what I mean? You weren't in the era where we don't see a lot of the Babe Ruth stuff. We only see some of it. Your era, there's tape everywhere of you stealing bases and that unbelievable batting stance and all the great things you did, Rod. So happy for you, man. Really appreciate you coming. And I want the let's everybody give a big roar of Rod Carew here, ladies and gentlemen. The great Rod Carew and Mary Rowland. You deserve it. Thank you so much, Rod. It's an honor to talk to you, and it's an honor to see you. Thank you for coming by today. And Mary, thank you so much, and God bless you.
And thank you for getting their story out, because we know that the more times that people hear it, they're going to start making the right decision.
Well, I agree. And I think that it's not just about the lives that your son saved by donating his organs, but the story now is going to help so many people just be aware. I mean, it's so easy. Like, just make that check on that driver's license. It's the easiest thing that you could possibly do.
Or go to One Donation or organdonation.com or .org.
Yeah. I've been an organ donor since I was like 16 years old.
Well, thank you
And
again.
I'm going to be, the one thing that does not get donated when you're an organ donor is your brain. And I just found out that I can donate my brain as well for all sorts of science stuff. So I'm going to do another thing.
The pink brain pledge. So women, because when you're an organ donor, you have to have a separate brain donation situation. So the pink brain pledge, we're going to be behind them too at an event tomorrow. So women 18 age and over invited to take the hashtag pink brain pledge at pinkconcussions.com. So another great organization helping save lives in the future. Thank you again so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. Rod, it's an honor, sir.
Thank you.
The great Rod Carew and Mary Rowland. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. Wow. That's a great story. And to sit here with Rod Carew, who, he's a little bit older than me, but I'm in the same wheelhouse. I grew up watching Rod Carew and Harmon Killebrew, and then the twins of later, and the We'll See You Tomorrow Night twins.
Well, Tony, we're going to quickly have some bumper music real quick so that we can take photographs with them, okay?
Okay, thank you. We'll be right back. Give them some thin optics, too.
Yo, I'm getting ready to put y'all up on something, man. Yo, when you see something ill, you know what I mean? That's woke. Anything ill you see is woke. Have me with a big 6 at the curb, that's woke. Okay. Especially if you got the fully equipped kid on it, it's woke. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I had this bad chick uptown, she was woke. Had me messed up in the head, I mean. Bought the chick diamonds and pearls, I mean. Should've seen the ice shining on the wrist. Now money ain't a problem, see my dough is like. Pull out my bankroll on y'all dudes like. Lost the bootstrap from 2/10 like. Money wanna beat my blueprints, I'm like. Had to hit the brake on y'all brothers like. Brothers getting bagged on my block like. Coming home within a half an hour like. Fun like they had the manpower like. More or less, more so I rip your torso, I live.
We're back live. I had to get up and take pictures with Rod. Not only with Rod, but his wife and Mary and Ralph, the husband of Conrad Rulin, who was the organ donor that saved not only Rod Carew's life, but the life of another person. And just an amazing story. I love, you know, we talk about athletes and sports and Super Bowls and comedians and stuff like that. But when it's all said and done, nobody cares about comedians or radio talk show hosts. Unless they want to laugh, which is what we all want to do from time to time. I laugh all the time. Because if you don't laugh, you become miserable. And when you become miserable, you should get the hell out of here. But a guy, we saw him it was in San Francisco. It wasn't you weren't in Houston, were you?
I was in Houston. I was bouncing around Houston.
How come I didn't see you there? Ladies and gentlemen,
Craig Gass.
Craig Gass, but you know Todd Glass,
I
too,
know
right?
Todd Glass, and we get
confused
because we both have weird last names. So
but Todd's been on the show, and then Mark Gass has been on the show, too.
Oh, okay. Mark Gastineau?
Not Mark Gastineau. He was a steroid guy, and all of his records are bogus, and he really never deserved.
And have you seen pictures of him recently?
No, I haven't seen him.
With all that stuff out of his system?
No.
He didn't hold up well. It's crazy.
That's what happens. I mean, you know, these guys, they want to make the money, and they sacrifice their bodies anyway.
Absolutely.
And then there were guys who did this stuff, said to get that last big contract and get sack records and things of that nature.
Now, Tony, I know that you were so busy yesterday. Did I actually finally show you the video?
I saw it. I watched it.
Okay.
So now you put together this unbelievable video. While everybody else is running around eating, you are out there shooting video, and then are you putting these together yourself?
Yeah, I'm putting all this stuff together myself. But what's crazy is while I'm shooting it, other cameras are on. So ESPN grabs what I'm doing. NFL on Fox grabs what I'm doing. The NFL on Fox was actually really great. Every time they use one of my videos or use an idea that I have, they'll say, we got to give credit to comedian Craig Gass. ESPN has been talking about me for 48 hours and just saying some guy did something funny at the Super Bowl.
Really?
And they have no idea who I am.
Some guy?
Some guy has been doing something funny.
I went to Mr. Some Guy last night in the Japanese area and had some great sushi.
And I've been trying to contact them and say, hey, listen, that was me. And it was this silly thing where I had one goal that I thought was honestly an unattainable goal this year at the Super Bowl.
What is that?
I wanted to play a game called Can I Make Bill Belichick Laugh? That was my goal.
And it's not possible.
And honestly, I would have settled for just showing human emotion. If he would have just showed human emotion, I would have settled with that as a door prize.
So you went to media night.
I went to media night.
And I saw you there walking around, but you were too busy working, and I was too busy just walking around.
Oh, yeah, we're all trying to get our content.
Yeah.
And I walked up to Tom Brady first, who remembered me from last year. And thank God he remembered because he kind of warmed up to me. He was being very diplomatic to everybody before me. Last year I asked Tom Brady, I said, Tom, my name's Craig Gass. I'm a stand-up comedian. This is my buddy Aaron. This is my friend Jason. We were all ranking the four of us from most handsome to least handsome. Obviously, you're number one because you're Tom Brady.
Right.
But who would you rank as number 2, number 3, and number 4? And Tom actually asked us to fan out so he could see all three of us, so he could rank us.
That is awesome.
And we all posed for him, and I pushed my chin out, to try to get rid of my double chin. And he gave us a ranking. This year, I asked Tom, listen, I don't know if you remember from last year, but we've been fighting, me and my buddies, ever since. And we've been working out. We've been eating a lot of avocado ice cream, which is what Tom Brady eats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very healthy for you.
Tom, when I said we have all been eating avocado ice cream, Tom Brady goes, "Don't BS me," and he said the full word, and I went, "Oh my God!" He said that on media day.
We have some avocado right now for the table.
Do you?
Should we bring it up here, Luigi? Guac? You got the guac? Tableside guac?
I didn't do tableside guac. We have the salsa from Cantina Laredo. Jay, the GM, just dropped us off, and he dropped us off some platters of tacos as well.
Really?
Sweet.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
See what you get on this show? How many other shows are taking care of their guests like we are?
This is the reason why you want to do the show. is for the
Exactly.
Yes. We have good swag.
Plus,
we
we
got
have
food.
swag, and we have a look at the spot here.
Yesterday we had beer.
Did you really?
We had beer and wine.
That's how you get guests.
But no hard liquor, though.
That's how you're guaranteed to have Broadway
No, the
Joe
guests
on.
were bringing us wine and beer.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Well, I warmed him up, and Tom Brady, I asked him.
So where did you rank last year, by the way? So where did he have you last year?
He put us in a. He said, "You're all tied. You're all tied for second place."
Okay, that's a good answer.
And this year, I told him, "Listen, Tom. Since last year, me and my two buddies, between the three of us, we've lost about 4 pounds. So has the ranking changed at all?" And he was still very diplomatic about it. But then I asked, "Listen, I'm going to attempt to make Bill Belichick laugh today." And he said, "Good luck." And I said, but can you give me any tips?" And he goes, "I can't even help you with that." I said, "Okay, are there any words that make him smile?" And Tom Brady said, "Yeah, if you mention Navy, mention the Navy, mention lacrosse, and I mentioned Bon Jovi." And he said, "Yep, mention Bon Jovi because, believe it or not, Bill Belichick's a huge Bon Jovi fan."
Really?
He's probably
Who
a
knew?
Springsteen fan too, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
And so I mentioned those words to Belichick. He started to show some human emotion, and then I threw out the dumbest joke ever. And the idea that I thought was going to be, I'm going to tell Bill Belichick a dumb joke. He's going to stare at me like he wants me murdered, and that's all we need. That'll be hilarious. Because I'll be bright and sunshiny, and he'll look like the angel of death. And I made him laugh. And
He actually left?
No,
I
he
didn't
laughed.
see-
He said, "You have a bright future."
Wow.
With a
So
dumb
how do I
joke.
see? Because I saw a clip of it because I was in the car, and how do I see this full video now?
I just sent it to you guys
Yes.
to post on any of your social media
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely.
So I sent you
Now,
guys
how
the
long
video.
is it? Because it's well edited. I mean, you did all this work. He did all these interviews, and he edited himself.
Yeah.
Have you seen this video, Luigi?
No, I haven't seen it
It's
yet.
phenomenal, man.
I got-
and ESPN's not giving him any love.
Yeah, and I just
Bastards.
want ESPN to know that I'm the guy who did that because they've been talking about it and they've been saying it was a
You
really.
should sue them. They're running your content without attribution.
All it is I just got to let them know that it was me so I can get my name on top of it. And they've been saying nice things about it. They're
Well,
not
you're just that guy, some guy.
Yeah, they're not pretending like they did it. They're
No, I
saying,
know that.
they're saying, "Hey, some guy did a funny thing," and they just don't know who I am. So I'm just trying to reach them to
Have
say,
you listen, I worked at ESPN for 12 years.
"I would love to get in
I
contact over this
I know
weekend."
the highest people at there. I am so well regarded. I don't even get an invitation to the ESPN party anymore.
This is outrage.
I'm so highly regarded at EA Sports because I was in the game 3 years. I don't even get an invitation to the EA Sports party anymore.
Wow.
But I do know a lot of the employees, though.
Well,
or
you know what? Then
ESPN
if
people.
you can help me try to connect with them, that would be great.
Have
But
you
I'm-
tried to connect to him? Have you
Yeah,
stormed the Sports Center stuff? Like Mike Golick's doing his morning show down here outside the Hard Rock, inside the Hard Rock
Well, then
in the
that's-
morning.
you
But
know
you
what?
missed it because today's their last day
Today was
here.
the last day. I got it. I sent it out to some people. NFL on Fox has always been great to me. They first discovered me 2 years ago when I had a viral moment with Peyton Manning. I walked up to Peyton Manning and I said, "Peyton, my name's Craig Gass. I'm a stand-up comedian, and I have an idea for a game show that I want to pitch you called Peyton Manning Trivia, where it is impossible for you to get any question wrong." And he said, "Any question?" I said, "For you, impossible. And we're going to do a speed round right now. What is the largest city in the state of Nebraska?" And he went, "Omaha." "Where is the College World Series played at every year?" "Omaha." And I just made him say the answer to every question was Omaha. And
That's
then
a lot of research to get that many Omaha answers.
I
How about
did.
steaks? Did you have Omaha steaks in there?
Yeah, I had 10 questions where the answer was Omaha, and then at the end of the game I said, "It is Omaha, Omaha, Omaha. You are correct, sir." And he loved it. And NFL on Fox grabbed it, posted it that night on their Facebook page, and it got 2 million views within a few hours.
Wow.
It was crazy viral. So, yeah, I'm a big football fan, and I book my comedy shows in the Super Bowl city every year, and I also book shows around. I'm a Seahawks fan, so Seahawks and Mariner games all over the country, so I can go to as many stadiums as possible. So,
Awesome.
and that's why I'm not famous. So there you
That's
go.
right. So that's because Pete Carroll doesn't go to you when he's supposed to.
Yeah.
He defers. He says, you know, Craig Gass, I should let him pound this ball in from the 1 yard line, but I'm going to defer and try to throw it instead.
Nobody would expect a comedian to get in the game. Why not? Give me a chance.
So where are you appearing? Now, people can follow you at Craig Gass, at Craig Gass on Twitter, right?
It's at Craig Gass Comedy. And
Go to Gass, not one S, two S's.
It's two S's. If you go to getgas.com, getgas with two S's.com, there's links to all the social media, links to all the videos of all the Super Bowl stuff I've done for the last 5-6 years, and all the silly. There's a lot of content there. So go to getgas.com.
And who doesn't get gas? I mean, let's be honest. Except Robin. She's been. But now she's okay because I've been giving her Metamucil this week.
We love Metamucil. They should be another one of our sponsors.
I can tell you, hanging out next to this food court, a lot of people are getting gas out here.
Yes, they are.
There's some random smells happening out here.
And we're going to get more gas because we got great chips from Cantina Laredo. And, in fact, I'm going to give you a fabulous prize just for participating today.
Really?
ESPN may not grace you, but you can go down there to Cantina Laredo and get yourself top-shelf, table-side guac.
Really?
As a complimentary appetizer. And on top of that, wait, there's more. You can get a complimentary casarita if you like margaritas. And by the way, these margaritas do not have any of the sour mix in it.
Yeah, there's no mix. Those are actual fresh margaritas with fresh lime, fresh.
Really?
Luigi
really
goes
good.
in there and then does 6 or 7 in a row, man. That's how good they are.
That's
why he looks the way he does right now.
Do these people out here know that you're giving away these prizes?
Yes, but not everybody gets this.
You got to. Oh, well.
I've had a ton of these. No, you have to be a guest. That's called swag.
Well,
have you been getting swag anywhere else?
Not from anyone here on Radio Row. I'm not getting treated like that, so I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
And now, so where are you appearing in town? Now, do you ever go to the East? Have you been in Philly at all?
I will be coming back to Philly probably in the fall of 2018.
That's too late for me. I may not be around then.
Yeah. You might not survive. I'm going to be.
If the Eagles win the Super Bowl, I may not be around by Tuesday.
I am wondering what's going to happen if the Eagles win the Super Bowl. The kind of insanity, not just in Philly, but here in Minneapolis, like, you know, they have to grease up the poles in downtown Philly to make sure
they're not using Crisco. They're using gear oil now.
Are they going to grease up the Mall of America to make sure nobody climbs the mall? Like it's going to be intense out
there
here.
You are perpetuating a couple of incidents as if the entire city was ablaze.
Yeah.
As if it was Pompeii and they were finding petrified remains of humans sitting at their dining room tables.
I did see a lot more blood at the tailgate than I normally see at tailgates at games. When
I was doing the Bills Mafia showed up and were jumping on stupid flaming tables, I guess.
The Bills Mafia.
But that's not stupid. That's really smart.
I got to be honest. If you're willing to break your own legs and light yourself on fire, then your fan base is just better than mine.
Exactly.
I really do admire that. I'm a big fan of pro wrestling, so watching people break their own legs is wildly entertaining.
You should have been here the other day when one of Luigi's big favorites.
Fan of pro wrestling?
Yes.
I think I might have to do it. I haven't worn it yet.
What? Oh yeah, bust it out.
Bust it out.
You got a unitard?
Oh,
no unitard
this
for Luigi.
Is way
He's wearing that later
this.
tonight after the party we go to, the big
so
Thuzio party.
There is a big wrestler name who is originally from here.
Get out of here.
Yes, and there's word that he may be making an appearance here. Not Santa Claus. He's not coming.
Did you steal this robe from the Bunny Ranch?
No, this is an authentic.
This looks like a Ric Flair.
It is a Ric Flair.
Get out of here.
I'm not making it up.
Turn
Let
around,
him turn
Luigi.
around now.
Turn around.
Luigi's now donning the entire Ric Flair. Look at that baby right there.
Get out of here.
Ric Flair. That is, how awesome is that?
All right, I'm getting a shot of this. I can't believe this is a real Ric Flair robe.
Put that in your video, and when you do your next compilation, there's nobody in this city wearing a Ric Flair full robe. Elvis didn't even have one that good. Elvis Presley would never fit in that robe because he was like 600 pounds when they found him on the toilet. But that's another story for another time.
The Animal was here earlier, and we are hoping that, and he was amazing, by the way. What a great guy.
Joe Laurinaitis, part of the
Legion of Doom.
The Legion of Doom, the
Animal.
WWE Hall of Famers.
Yeah, of course.
He was here.
When you said the Animal, I was thinking George the Animal Steele.
No. Listen, I love Georgia, but the Animal, the Road Warriors, they were called, and they're one of the greatest tag teams in the Hall of Fame. And even they, and in fact, Joe, he and Ric Flair are good buddies. So
Really?
Ric Flair is supposed to come by here, and that's what Luigi's waiting for to get that baby signed so that they can sell it on eBay when we get home. No, he's going to keep it. Actually, he's giving it to a buddy of his for the Philadelphia Fire and Rescue Squad, right?
Well, it's John Brightcliffe's. That's actually his robe. He gave it to me to wear here in case he was here. So Rick could sign.
A couple hours left here at Radio Row, and Ric Flair is still expected to show up?
He may or may not be in the building.
Okay.
As they say in the award show, scheduled to appear.
Well, he's had some health issues, and then he was traveling as well. So we're not 100% sure, but we have it just in case.
But again, I mean, it is Minnesota and it's cold. I could use it outside anyway.
Exactly.
Why not wear it anyway? It's a kick-ass robe.
You should wear that tonight to the big Thuzio party.
Who's at the
You know what I'm
Thuzio
gonna
party?
do?
What is
All
that?
the athletes. It's Drew Rosenhaus,
Okay.
the super agent.
Sure,
And
of
he's
course.
got a lot of big-name clients, and they're going to be there.
Yep.
So we're going to be there. We're going to be there tonight because, you know, when you're me, you got to go to these things.
I'm doing an event with Rosenhaus on Sunday in downtown Minneapolis called Sober Bowl.
Sober Bowl.
Sober Bowl for.
Well, there won't be any Eagle fans there. I can assure you that.
a bunch of athletes who former NFL players and Rosenthal, everybody.
Rosenhaus and,
Rosenhaus, guys who are in recovery.
Oh, well, I understand.
Giving an alternative to people.
That is awesome.
To
That
watch
is
a
awesome.
Super Bowl at an event where.
Now, I'm asking this question because are you?
I'm sober.
You're sober as well.
I've been sober for. I loved cocaine. Loved cocaine.
I didn't like the way it smelled, so I never really got into it.
I love the way it smells.
It's a hell of a drug.
And it was, and I've been clean now for 13 years. I had a heart attack.
Oh my gosh.
So the heart
I think
attack.
I do remember you telling us this.
I
Yes.
had a heart attack. So the heart attack scared me straight for a year.
Thank God.
Yeah, and then I got in a bad relationship, went backwards, and then got back on, and I got lucky to see the light and realize I got to change. I can't live like this anymore. And in the first year that I got clean, 7 of my friends died.
Oh, wow.
All comedians. 4 drug overdoses and 3 drinking and driving car accidents. Mitch Hedberg was an old roommate of mine. He was the first comedian that I knew that passed
Okay,
away.
I love Mitch Hedberg.
I have to ask you a question because Craig Shoemaker is a good friend of ours as well.
Yeah, he's
Is there some truth to the theory that comedians are comedians because they're coming from a dark place?
Not in my case. I do notice that a lot with a lot of comedians. And it's why I feel like I don't relate to a lot of comedians. Because a lot of comedians I know are really dark and very antisocial, which is shocking.
Which is,
Yeah,
that is
Because you
weird.
think that they would be the life of the party, but
Yeah,
a
very.
lot of comedians. But there's absolutely, there's exceptions to that rule. Brian Regan, Jerry Seinfeld. There's comedians who are. Who
but there do seem to be a lot of comedians that have issues with substance abuse.
Well, it's not just issues with substance abuse, just the darkness in general.
Right.
Yeah. I remember Louis Anderson, who's right down the way here, about 100 feet away from us. I remember Louis Anderson doing an Oprah appearance where he was promoting a book, and they showed some of his stand-up, and he's so likable and so funny, and he talks about how much of a grump his dad is. And the book is about how fractured his relationship was with his parents. And once he started to tell his story about how abusive his dad was, and then you watch his stand-up, it wasn't as funny because you just realize there's a lot of truth in what he's saying and a lot of pain in it. But Louis Anderson has this wonderful way of communicating in it in a way that's relatable and funny that we can all. So that's kind of crazy, but yes,
Well, actually, that brings me to something else about comedians, which I think is really, really unfortunate in this day and age. That's so PC that a lot of topics that are uncomfortable are made. Are brought into people's homes so that you can talk about it by comedians who are willing to make fun of it, or at least talk about it in a funny way so that it's not so depressing. And this world has become so PC that now people are not even wanting to talk about subjects that they should be able to talk about.
And that is the gift of stand-up comedy. If you can get an audience to follow you someplace that they don't necessarily want to go to.
By the way, are you following me on Twitter by any chance?
I don't know if I am or not. Am I? I
should
be.
be.
You have to be.
We have you on the show every year, and you're not following me at Tony Bruno Show?
You know what? You're right. I should be.
It's an outrage, man.
I will take care of that immediately.
We had to give you one of those.
I'm checking to make sure that I'm on time for my next. I'm supposed to be on the air at another station
So where
right now.
are you appearing this week here in this weekend?
This weekend, I'm at the New Hope cinemas in New Hope, Minnesota.
Not New Hope, Pennsylvania.
Not New Hope, Pennsylvania, but here in New Hope. It's I think it's about 10 miles from here. I'm doing 7 shows this weekend.
In one night? I don't know anybody who's ever done 7 shows in one night.
It was 1 show last night, 2 tonight, 3 tomorrow, 1 more on Monday, the day after the Super Bowl. But yeah, it's a great theater too. A lot of comedians. Gilbert Gottfried's been there. Artie Lang's been there. It's a great place to go.
And you can get your whole schedules on there, right?
Everything's on getgas.com. Get Gas with 2 S's.
With 2 S's. Getgas.com.
Also, all your handles, right? Is Get Gas?
All my handles are Craig Gas Comedy.
Okay.
Craig Gas Comedy,
and
ladies and gentlemen.
I got to run out of here. So.
Oh, no, thanks for coming by, man.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
And you were a little bit delayed because of Rod Carew, so thank you for hanging out.
Great.
And I got to meet Rod Carew. I couldn't believe that.
Not to be confused with Todd Glass or Mark Gass to know. It is Craig Gass if you're scoring at home.
Did you give him his thin optics?
Oh, give him the thin optics here. He's got to go do another. Just because we're going to give you more. Do you need reading glasses when you're in a bar or restaurant? This is what you do. You put it on your phone like this. You take it off, and then you go like this.
Boom.
And, yeah, it's the greatest invention since Nick Foles. So here you go, man. Thank you so much, man.
Now, Tony.
All right, there he is, Craig Gass.
Tony, now Jay from Cantina dropped off these tacos for us. I think we have to try something there.
I need a taste right now.
So actually, what we should do is we don't
have anybody live scheduled like right now, right?
No, we do not.
You want to run an interview?
Let's run a taped interview.
Do we have time
so
to
that
do
we
that?
can gorge like the suckling
you
pigs.
just need to let me know who it is so that I can set that up, Tony Bruno.
Let me see what the list is. Where's the list, Robin? I had a list. I feel like the guy at the door at all these clubs, and people are like, I'm on there. Look at the W's.
Are you on that list?
Look on the W's.
I had the list written out, and I actually need it.
I have it in here. I got so many papers,
because
Robin.
I need my little time. The sticky sheet, which I had.
There's too many papers, Robin, and not enough time to go through them.
There's papers flying around all over the damn place.
I have it in here somewhere. But we'll let's see.
I think that's it right there. Is that it?
No, that's not it. There's too many papers. I'll make it a lady's choice, Robin.
Well, no, I actually need that because I need to know the start times of the videos that are not edited. So it's kind of important.
I need a tissue, too, because my nose is running. And I'm sorry. And I apologize. This is absolutely crazy here. And as you can tell, we don't have 15 people handing me stuff and doing all this crazy stuff. And it's because it's complicated. People are being brought over at any moment, and you got to be ready to go. You got to do it live and be ready to go. So I don't know where I put it, but it's here somewhere. And I'll get it in a second. But I need a tissue, too, so that's a bigger problem. Or else my nose is going to start dripping. And I'm going to look like Joe Kennedy with the Democratic response to the State of the Union the other night. I saw a picture of it. I guess he was drooling. But, hey, people have different issues. I got congestion.
Sorry, guys. We're trying to find his paperwork here. And Tony, did you get your tissue at least?
He did get the tissue, so that's good. So, just to follow up, while Tony is furiously looking for that piece of paper, you know that we are brought to you by all these fantastic sponsors, including Fin Optics, which is the hit of the Radio Row, and Michael and David Winery, and Switchboard, MDWinery.com, and Switchboard Live, which is switchboard.live.
And it'll stream everything. You send them one video stream, and they get it out to all the platforms.
Please do us all a favor and visit them. Tell them Bruno sent you. If there is a coupon code option, put in Bruno, and it will give you a discount. Especially like Thin Optics will give you an additional 15% off of anything that you purchase
when you use the promo code Bruno.
And then also, if you are here locally in Mini, as they're calling it, all the locals call it Mini. We will be hosting, or Tony is hosting, the only Eagles party on Super Bowl or Big Game Day.
On Sunday, baby.
Sunday.
You want to hang with Eagle fans and not fear for your life from dreadful ladies who scream at poor young kids in Philadelphia when they go to Lincoln Financial Field? No, anybody's invited. But the Eagles don't have an Eagles nest here. And that is a national outrage of biblical proportions. Sort of like the biblical beatdown that the Eagles administered to your Minnesota Vikings just 2 Sundays ago.
Speaking of that, people are like Joseph Jenkins, who provided us with some food earlier in the week. over in Afghanistan, he was asking if we're going to release the lead pipe locked later on.
Absolutely.
And we're going to, I mean, it's Friday, it's the last day. So
we got to do it today.
You've let it marinate for a little while.
I've marinated my brains, my livers, every body organ, which is why no one would want a donation of my organs at this particular time in my life. But we're going to go. Who are we going to go to next, Robin?
We are going to go to the fabulous Mr. Minnesota himself, Andrew Zimmern.
Oh, Andrew Zimmern. And you think, you know, I've been so lucky to run into people. We literally, Robin ran him down in the Moscone Center in San Francisco 2 years ago because I'm such a foodie and I don't eat bizarre stuff because I'm really picky. But when I saw him there, we brought him on our show. We've stayed friends. We're back and forth all the time on Twitter. And he's here today because he is Mr. Minnesota, Mr. Andrew Zimmern.
We're still waiting for Robin to hit play in that audio.
Yes, it's Friday. It's Radio Row, and that means only one thing. The man who told me about this 2 years ago, that he would organize everything that was needed to be organized here in Minnesota because he is a Minnesotan. He knows the fish that you can catch on Lake Minnetonka. He's eaten everything on Earth. Everything. And you see him all over the place. He's got like 72 shows, Delicious Destinations, Bizarre Foods America. Now you got your own AZ Cooks thing going, right?
Yeah, we're doing that ourselves. We got a building, and I put all three of my businesses under one roof. So, you know, once a month the production company guys slide down to the test kitchen that we have, and we shoot a test video, a kitchen video series called AZ Cooks, where we try to, you know, clue people into what I call culinary literacy. If you want to consider yourself a food geek or a gastronaut, food lover, whatever it is, you really should know how to cook food. And it's just been a blast watching that grow. It's a cool little piece of business.
Andrew Zimmern, who has the most lanyards. I've seen the players who are in the game. I've seen celebrities, you know. Everybody's walking through. No one has as many lanyards. I think by the end of the week, you're going to have a hunchback. You're going to be leaning over.
This is all good. The one. Where's the one that you know, my host committee.
I see
That's the one you're holding.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
the green one is the host committee there.
Yeah, you got game tickets. You got.
You got to have it all. But I lose everything.
Right.
So I mean, like we both wear cheaters. We have our glasses,
yes.
right?
And
I have 7,000 pairs. I have 7,000 pairs.
7,000
everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere. If I don't have these, I'm going to sleep with these tonight, or I might miss.
Especially the one with the tickets. Now, you have to have a posse to take care of you because Super Bowl tickets are hard to come by.
They're hard to come by. I mean, it's part of everything we've been doing since a bunch of us got together and placed the bid for this game with, you know, Richard Anderson and Marilyn Carlson Nelson's incredible leadership. You know, we won the bid for the Super Bowl. I'm lucky enough to be involved with the host committee. I'm the chair of the food committee. I'm the official chef of the Super Bowl. All that stuff is just a bunch of words. But as a community, over the last 4 years, the entire state, from the Canadian border to Iowa, from the Dakotas to the west to Wisconsin to the east, we have wanted to showcase our amazing and great state, and we've been doing it now for the last 52 weeks leading up to the big game, and we just want to show people what an incredible community this is here in the bold north.
No, the people have been great to us. Even though they know I'm from Philadelphia, they've been great.
See, they still love it. See?
Because
that's Minnesota nice.
I'm a Minnesota nice. I'm a bold north guy. I don't, you know, people say, it's 5 below. I said, so what? Do you know the difference between 5 below and 15 below when you're outside if the wind's not blowing?
What?
There isn't. I mean, you don't know that.
Thank you.
Exactly.
I was hoping to
There's no
play straight man
there.
for you. I thought it was going to be better. I thought it was going to be, you know, here's the deal. Last night, when we were leaving Paisley Park, you could tell the locals from the non-locals that were there because people had to walk to the shuttle buses or their cars, and it was, you know, a couple 100-yard walk, and it was 5 below zero, 2:30 in the morning. All the Minnesotans, you never zip your coat on the way to the car or put your hat on because you're just going to get into the car, right? It's not a big deal. All the out-of-towners immediately zipping up everything. It was hysterical.
Well, when we came in on the plane last Saturday, there were people who connected in Philly to come because that's a main hub, and American doesn't fly much into here. and there were people with shorts on.
Yeah.
And they got off the plane and went right outside because they were going home.
Well, with, 47, a week ago was 47 degrees. I think today it's a high of like 15, but it's sunny. Tomorrow we'll get a little snow. Up here, we embrace the cold. Eric Dayton, one of our great civic leaders and the owner of a great restaurant, Bachelor Farmer here in town, came up with the idea to take the 5 big signature winter events, the Lope It, the Crashed Ice that Red Bull does, the Winter Carnival, all that kind of pond hockey championships. Let's put it all together and make the 2 or 3 best weeks of winter and embrace it the way that, Minnesotans do, and promote it as a place for people to come all year, every year for the best 2 weeks of winter. This year we did it all leading up to the Super Bowl, of course, and it's just been an incredibly successful program to sort of brand our part of the world, the bold North, because we like it here. And, obviously you've been here during warm weather. There's no better place on earth than Minnesota in the spring, summer, or fall.
Absolutely.
Well, I feel kind of like I want to stay an extra week because it's been so crazy this week.
Yeah, I can't go ice fishing. I want to do all the things.
All the things we wanted to do, we haven't had a chance to. I wanted to do the ice fishing. I wanted to do the dog sledding. I wanted to do...
Come over to the house. You guys got my guest room. Come on.
Maybe
you got an inside track. All these other jokers that I'm talking to aren't my friends.
Exactly.
Yeah, anytime you want to come, it's,
we'll break Balut together for a couple of days.
The keys are in the second planter to the left as you walk in the front door. Just enjoy.
Awesome.
I know you have to run, and we appreciate you coming by because everybody wants to talk to you. When I think
wonderful.
of Minnesota now, seriously, since we met Andrew, and I wasn't aware he was from Minnesota, in San Francisco 2 years ago, I think of, we had, let's see, Prince, obviously.
Yep.
You got, who's the other major singer, entertainer?
Jesse the Body Ventura.
No, he was a governor here, and he was a wrestler. Help me, guys.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan, exactly.
Yes.
Then we have...
He's no schlub.
We're going to have Rod Carew. We're talking about
Rod
great
Carew.
Minnesotan legends.
Yeah.
We were at the home plate here in the amusement park, Metropolitan Stadium, where he stole 7 times home plate in that building.
Yeah, Rod is amazing. I remember taking my son, who was 7 or 8 at the time, to opening day at Target Field. And we got into the, because I'm the Pope of Minnesota, we're in the locker room before the game, and there's every Minnesota Hall of Famer, every Minnesota World Series ring, pennant ring wearer. It was a who's who of Minnesota sports and fame. Harmon Killebrew was still alive. He was there. And, we sat there, and I introduced Noah to everyone, and he's like, Dad, can we just go to our seats? And I'm like, kid, I will shame you with this at your wedding. This is Rod Carew. This is Rod Carew.
I know.
I am so
I'm
excited.
so psyched to talk to him because of all the medical stuff he went through when he got back
honestly,
on his feet.
I am not going to be able to keep a dry eye for that story.
No,
I was just reading through
it's
it.
An incredible tale. He's a great man, a great humanitarian, has done a ton for our community. And those people were role models for me when I moved here 26 years ago, because I think public service and service in your community, growing where you're planted, and if you have a platform, use it for good. It doesn't matter whether it's big, small, but the people who don't use their platform to making the world a better place, I think are wasting their time on this earth.
Absolutely. Well, next time you're in Philly, we'll go down to...
Now, I got the promise of the secret cheesesteak place.
I'm going to take you to the secret cheesesteak place, Mama's Pizzeria. It's not even a cheesesteak place.
But
you have never had a cheesesteak like this.
How about we do it like this then? Because I've yet to go there.
That's right. We haven't even taken Luigi there.
Yet to go there. So why don't we all go together?
We'll all break bread there.
Yes.
I know you know the legendary spots because you've done.
Oh, I've done them all.
Lancaster, maybe Scrapple in Lancaster County. It's great, and those shows are great.
And quite honestly, your point is well taken. The best places that I have found for, a steak isn't necessarily a fancy steakhouse. It's some diner somewhere where the chef's family has a ranch, and it's just great steak that's pan-fried and cooked perfectly because they've done it that way for 100 years. And we document those places on the show, and obviously Bizarre Foods and Delicious Destinations have both been to Philly on multiple occasions, and I go there and do my thing with friends, and the food scene in Philly is out of control. Yeah. That is, what a great food town. But the indirect nature of the big eastern cities where the sign says one thing, but the best thing is another, because one of my favorite spots in Philly is John's Roast Pork, and the roast pork is great, but their cheesesteak is absolutely to die for.
And John's a great friend, and we go there all the time.
Oh, it's dynamite.
And we know we know Tony Luke, we know Gino.
Yeah,
we know all the people because they're all great people.
Now, the place I like is right across from John's Roast Pork is Herschel's.
Oh, yeah.
Their pastrami is phenomenal.
It's almost, their pastrami, you want to know where the best pastrami in America is being cooked right now? And this is no joke. Revival in St. Paul, Minnesota. A young chef named Thomas Bomer moved up from the Carolinas, took over a restaurant called Corner Table. They built a Revival in Minneapolis, which is great. And when they built the second one in St. Paul, he put in smoking equipment so he could do real barbecue. He does the best brisket and the best pastrami. His pastrami is unrivaled. Aaron Franklin still makes the best brisket, in my opinion, but the single best pastrami in America now.
All right, I got one thing I remembered from 2 years ago when we asked you which food you would all the food you've eaten. You said this was one of the things that you could not stomach.
Your kryptonite.
I do. No, it's not kryptonite because you hold a gun to my head, I'll eat anything. I do not eat walnuts. I do not eat oatmeal. I do not eat cookie dough raw.
Oh.
So then this little token of our appreciation.
Will not cross my lips. Disgusting.
Can you give it? Now, who's the fellow with the crutches? I mean, the poor guy's out there on crutches leading you through this area here.
He's a very brave soul. But here's the deal. I love oatmeal cookies, raw cooked oatmeal, hot oatmeal. To me, I cannot stand it. I would run screaming from the room if you threw some boiling water and tried to make me eat this.
I know you got to run, so I'm going to give you because I think of you every time I see this because I
like you said, you have glasses everywhere because you lose them all the time.
You put this on your phone, and then wherever you are,
you will never lose them.
Oh my! You're kidding me!
No, it's a great company out of San Francisco. They're our sponsor. And we're giving them to everybody.
Oh my God, they're so amazing.
And look at all the different styles they have. And
this is their motto, always with you. And it's because you will always have your phone. That's the one thing nobody
all different sizes,
forgets.
Military, states. They have a Quincy Jones collection. So
my jaw is open.
You're not getting this kind of swag anywhere else, Andrew.
No one's giving me swag. Somebody said, what do you need? Do you need some lunch or something? I said, you know what I need? I need 5 minutes in an NFL store so I can get some Super Bowl gear.
And we have plenty more where they came from.
This is unbelievable.
And if they break, they'll send you a brand new pair, absolutely free.
Seriously.
They're a great company. Thin optics.
The love that you get on the Tony Bruno
Exactly
show.
Right. But I know you won't be able to come to my Super Bowl party. But
no.
I will see you. I will see you Saturday night. Taste of the NFL.
And also, I know. I mean, there's still the love, but for me, because you knocked out the Vikings, the Patriots have to win. Which, as a Giants fan, kills me to say it.
Andrew Zimmern, always great to see you. Thank you so much, man. Love you, man. There he is, the great Andrew Zimmern. God, I love this guy. Let's give Andrew Zimmern, who was there a little earlier when it was bedlam and we had to sit him down because they had to get him out of here. He couldn't stay for the food either.
No, he couldn't stay for the food, but let me give him that roaring round of applause, Tony. Sorry about that.
See who's there, Robin? You know who that man is right there?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Are you opening a Smith's out here now?
Smith's is following us here, one of the greatest, fantastic sports bars back in Philadelphia.
He's got to come to my party. You want to see a great sports bar? It's not really a sports bar. It's a tavern, a brew pub. But he's got tickets to the game, so he's too important for that.
If Smith's were here, we would have been doing the viewing party from Smith's.
Absolutely.
But since they're not, we have found.
If we were in Philly, we'd be doing like 5 viewing parties at the same time, man. We would have like satellites everywhere.
You simulcast all over the Delaware Valley.
Damn right. But what happened to Kevin Harlan? Because
I don't know. He ran off.
Well, he did have something. It looks like he had another place that he was already late for, but he said he is absolutely doing your show.
Of course he's going to.
He's like,
one thing
I am
about
not leaving.
a lot of these guests, they get, like he works for TNT, does the NBA, and he's going to do the Super Bowl. And so these people all have schedules that they go from one place to another. I didn't schedule Kevin Harlan. You know why, Luigi?
Why?
I don't need to schedule him.
Okay.
Kevin Harlan will say, hey, Bismarck, North Dakota? Sorry, bro. Sorry.
Waco, Texas?
Hello.
Sorry, Holmes.
In the meantime, let's rack a guy that we saw last night at the EA party. A man that I've known a long time, a A man that I know could take Luigi down in less than 10 seconds in an octagon.
Oh, God, stop.
And he doesn't, well, he's still trained, so he's still.
Man. Congrats, by the way,
Hold
man.
on. No, stop.
Robin's doing that. We're going to bring in Jay Glazer, who we taped again earlier, because if you don't tape people when they're here, you ain't getting them, homeboy.
No, because they have other things that they're doing. They're
because we're here in the morning getting people too that aren't available in the afternoon.
We got to get the AA Sports Science guy, maybe.
No, we're not getting him in here.
Really?
Sports science is fake.
I know.
It's fake news. It's fake news.
It is fake news.
No, it's not fake news.
I was going to say, you can't argue science, don't
We
you?
had him on last year. He's great. But I can't get everybody on. If I tried to get on everybody that I know here, we would have to go 24/7 for the entire week.
I think
That's
we
not
can do it.
humanly possible, even for me, a man with superhuman strengths, the man who could be the Black Panther's partner in the next Black Panther movie when it comes out, because the Black Panther's out in theaters and it is blowing up, man.
I haven't heard a thing about it, man.
I've heard it. I've heard nothing but rave reviews, man.
I'm ready.
The Huey Lewis, not the Huey Newton Black Panthers. I'm talking about Black Panther, the Marvel
real
character.
Black Panther.
Let's go to Jay Glazer, and I'll go run down Kevin Harlan myself and bring his butt right here. We'll talk NBA and NFL with the great Kevin Harlan. But let's go to Jay Glazer, who was with us a little earlier. It doesn't get Radio Row until this man sits down. He's a presence wherever he goes, and he brings me presents wherever he comes. The great Jay Glazer, Fox, and now a man who looks jacked, but he always looks jacked, because he's the man now at Bellator MMA. We talked to Matt Mitrion, and he's a man who's involved with Matt and Bellator. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, brother. Long time, man. We go back a long time doing these. This got to be like our 20th Radio Row together or something along those lines.
29 for me.
Well, not
but
for
I'm
me.
older
You're
than
old.
you.
You're really
I know
old.
I'm old.
Yeah, you probably got like a year or two left.
You're right. I may not be in Atlanta next year. I take every Super Bowl one.
I mean, you look terrible, to be honest with you.
You're right.
Yeah, you probably won't make it next week.
When I moved out of L.A. back to Philly, that's what happened. I used to be in great shape when we worked together at Fox.
Hey, you know what? I'm obviously a New York guy, and then we're a Jersey guy in New York, and then I moved out to L.A., and all your friends in New York kind of say to you, like, oh, man, aren't you going to miss the seasons? I'm like, hey, dude, I got the Travel Channel. I'm good. I don't miss it. No. I don't miss the cold at all.
You saw Jersey Boy, so you don't miss the 4 seasons.
No, man, no. Not at all, buddy. But, yeah, I'm stoked. And you knew when I got involved when I was, fighting probably 2003 and 4, right?
I used to see you in the Phoenix airport because you lived in Phoenix.
Yeah, I was training with those guys. Ryan Bader, who's in this Bellator Grand Prix, he was a guy I was training with, and he was actually, so when I fought, I had like 2 fights and I stunk, but I learned how to start coaching guys when Fox made me stop fighting. And the first dude we ever trained, it was me, Ryan Bader, a guy named CB Dalloway, these guys out in Arizona, like you're talking about. And the first guy we trained was this long snapper from the Chiefs, who ended up being Jared Allen.
Exactly.
So Jared then goes on, and man, he, I think I saw him walking around here.
Yeah.
But he's a long snapper. People don't realize that. And we got him thinking. We got his hands flying, his hips open, and he's just a big stiff white guy at first, and then goes out and rips off 15 sacks. And people call and say, whatever you did for him, do it for us. And I go to Randy Couture and Chuck Liddell. I'm like, I don't know what the hell we did for him, but let's figure something out. And now we've trained over 1,000 players, which is great.
No, it's amazing because I remember seeing that. I remember when we were on Best Damn Sports Show back in the day, that we were really the first show that really promoted MMA and promoted the UFC.
And I did. That's what I did. I was doing the Pride Fighting Championships for Fox right when I signed, and we would have these great tournaments out there. So I was the first host of an MMA show in America. And now I'm coming full circle with Bellator. They're having the same kind of Grand Prix, this heavyweight Grand Prix, same thing, which is these tournaments, which there's nothing like it in the sport of mixed martial arts. But I love the world.
Fedor and these guys can still fight. They're not going to go in there just for a show.
No.
I mean, these guys are legends, but they're still in there doing what they do best.
Well, Chael Sonnen just fought Rampage Jackson.
Right.
And Chael's great thing is his pace. And we haven't seen it for a couple of years, but the old Chael Sonnen who took Anderson Silva to the brink, he was back last week. He looked phenomenal. They are taking this heavyweight Grand Prix beyond serious. I mean, it's just to have guys that you grew up watching, the Frank Mirs with Fedor, and again, Chael and Rampage with the younger guys, like I say younger, but the Ryan Baders of the world. It's really cool, man. It's like an all-star game. It's like the Pro Bowl, but guys are trying.
Exactly. Right. Perfect analogy. We're guys trying. I missed a Pro Bowl, but I've been here since Saturday. Now, you're not having any big Jay Glazer bashes this year?
I didn't have a Glazer Palooza this year, no, because it just got kind of out of control. And by the way, so people wondering, I started throwing the first Super Bowl party of the year back in 2007. It was at my house, and I had both the Patriots and the Giants there, and we called it Glazer Palooza, but I only called it that just to piss off Strahan.
Exactly.
It would drive him crazy. For no other reason. So then, as people started calling it Glazer Palooza, and I realized it was annoying Michael more and more, then I started getting sponsorship for it. Then he couldn't get away from it. It was great. I mean, he's just for the record, he's my TV wife, not the other way around.
Exactly.
Yes.
Jay Glazer, of course, still Fox NFL guy. I mean,
Yes,
you haven't
sir.
given that up, man.
No, man.
Now, have you gotten a better phone since the last time I used to talk to you and people would always make fun of your phone?
You could say what you want about me, but I'll be damned if you talk about my cell phone like that.
All right, Jay, I know you got to run.
We're doing Fox NFL Sunday. Now we just got Thursday Night Football.
I know.
So,
I
yeah,
know. That's
living the
great,
dream.
man. That's
Living the
great.
dream.
I know a lot of people were surprised because I know ABC, but Fox suckered everybody in. They got ABC out of it, they got CBS and NBC out of it, and then they swooped right in and grabbed the package.
I couldn't be happier.
So you're going to work every Thursday now?
I would hope so, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's and look, it's still, people talk about ratings, whatever you want to talk about, man, it's still the greatest reality show on the planet.
Yep.
There's nothing like the NFL.
I agree. Last thing, Eagles are playing here, I believe. My team, who doesn't have a Lombardi, as everybody knows. Patriots, dynasty, we'll never see anything like it again. Mm-hmm. What happens on Sunday, Jay?
Matchup-wise, the Eagles match up great with them, but the other quarterback was down 28-3 last year, man. How do you go against? I'm never going to go against the guy because of what I don't know what he can't do. We've seen what he's done. But we really don't know what he can't do. But the Eagles, they've done a great job. They match up well with him. The defense they'll get after him, and so Tom's going to kind of have to get out of the way and step up.
And Doug Peterson will not take the foot off the pedal if he takes the lead. He's not going to go. I'm not ripping Doug Marrone, but he's not going to play like trying to hold on to a lead.
Doug Peterson's a very mentally strong guy because everybody wanted him out last year, and he just stuck with his brand. Good for him.
Good to see you, man. Jay Glazer, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a roaring round of applause. I think I could still take him if he got into the octagon.
We didn't even take him. You got whatever you're taking to believe you could take me.
Love Jay Glazer. Jay Glazer, a man who I still believe that I have a better ground game than him, and I believe I can take his ass down. He's short, so his center of gravity would be better or less on a short guy.
Be better.
That's right. Tall guys are easy to take
down. With a guy like Jay, you want to keep him upright.
Not me. I want to keep him down on the ground and then do a ground and pound.
You're also about Tony. What are you saying? About 6'1", 6.5"?
I'm 6 feet, 200 right now.
So you're 6 feet 2 bills.
Yep.
So you want to use your leverage on Jay. So you want to get on. I'm telling you, you want to get on top of Jay.
Yep.
You want to get on his back and force him down to. But you want to keep him upright. You just want to stay above Jay. You want to keep keep the leverage, man.
But once I get him down, it's over.
Ground and pound.
I'm expecting a submission within a matter of seconds. Within a matter of seconds, because I can punish him, and I can punish him hard. I used to do this stuff all the time with Jay. We'd be in airports, and I'd say, "Come on, man, let's go right here." And
right.
Because that's what friends do, you know.
Of course, you always mess around.
You always think you can take the guy you know, who you know is 100 times better than you.
Yeah, my friends did the same thing with me. I beat every one of them up.
You're damn right. That's what you're supposed to do. Because that's what I'm supposed to do.
No, I'm seriously. We go drinking, and they all go, come on, let's go outside, slap box a little bit. And then, somebody throws a little slap too hard, and they, you get smacked to the wall. That's the way it goes.
I'm keeping an eye out for Kevin Harlan.
There's a lot of buzz in the room, man. A lot of buzz.
A lot of buds. I smelled it coming in, man. We were at the EA party last night.
Roy Jones Jr. leaving the building now, folks.
Tell him to get out. So we're at the EA party, sitting down on a couch, a tiny couch, because they wouldn't let us sit at the other couch because it had like table service in front of it.
Oh, God forbid.
Yeah, and I didn't want to sit at the table service. I was happy to walk up and get my own drinks, and not pay $7,000 for a bottle of Grey Goose. So anyway, we're sitting there, and then a whole crew of guys come in. How many? Like 10 guys.
Yeah, at least.
I had no idea who any of them were, but they must have been somebody. But one thing I knew they were lit, and they had smoke popped on the way in.
It was following them, I imagine, who was the Peanuts character?
Limus?
No, the kid that always was dirty.
Linus.
Pigpen.
Pigpen.
Linus was the little bird.
Yeah, that's right. You're right, Tony. I'm sorry.
That's what these guys were kind of like. I imagine the little clouds kind of coming wafting around them. Not dirt, but in this case,
that's why I don't
grass.
like to smoke marijuana. I don't like the smell of cigarette smoke on my clothing, right? I certainly don't like the smell of marijuana on my clothing. You know, maybe that turns people on. That's why when I drink red wine, you don't smell anything, bro.
No, you just get turned down, baby.
Now, Tony, since we're waiting for Kevin Harlan, we just finished a fantastic interview. Should we go to the fabulous Josh B. Gum, who, even though we told everybody that we weren't going to be taking any phone calls, he called anyway because he says...
He wants to release his Stone Cold.
No, he has a Super Bowl pick soundbite.
Oh, a Super Bowl pick soundbite?
Yes, he has a special soundbite that he says we need to listen to. We need to hear.
Let's go to Josh and hear the sound bites because we love sound on the show. We love video, too. But video killed the radio star many, many years ago.
Hey, Bruno.
Yo,
Can
Josh.
you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Good.
The heck do you mean? Hey, let me tell you something. I want to go real quick because I know you don't got a lot of time, but I just want to go through my last 19 Super Bowl picks. I'm 14-5. Okay, those are my picks. I had, starting with 98, the Falcons. I'm just going to reel off all the teams real quick.
Go ahead.
Falcons, Titans, Ravens, Pats, Raiders, Panthers, Eagles, Seahawks, Colts, Giants, Cards, Colts, Packers, Giants, Ravens, Seahawks, Broncos, Pats as of 16. So I'm releasing my Stone Cold lock today to you right now.
At no additional charge.
Eagles, 38. Pats, 37. The Eagles win by 1 point. It'll be the over. They're going to outright win this game. Take the points. I would take the points.
And the money line?
I don't know about the money line, but just in case, I'm taking the points. So that's my thing. Hey,
why don't you double up? If you're confident that they can win the game, you got to take the points. You got to take the points and the money line because you're going to get value on the money line.
That's what you usually do. You take the money line on a small bet, like a couple hundred, and then you bet big on the points. So if the money line don't come in and you still got the points as a backup, that's usually my rule of thumb with doing that kind of stuff.
And luckily there's a bank.
You just bet all your eggs on the money line, and you know if they lose or lose by 2 points.
No, I hear you. I'm not saying you bet the house on the money line unless you have multiple homes, which I don't. But I'm going to go to the Bank of America ATM right here, and I'm going to take out all $72.81 I have remaining.
The whole nut?
I'm going to clean that thing out, but then I can go to Zelle and take money out of Luigi's account.
Yes, you can.
And so I don't overdraw and then have to pay the overdraw charge.
0% APR for 23 months.
And we have special tape of the guys from the Great White North in honor of the Minnesota Vikings, because I know the Vikings aren't there, but these guys are there. They're filling in. They're going to be Eagles fans. And let me tell you, they got something to say. Hold on a second.
Let's go to the tape.
Look how huge it is, eh? Look, we got Great White North, you hoser. He's genius, eh?
Eh?
You know who that is? You remember that movie?
Yeah, the great. What was it called? That was the two Canadian guys. You hoser?
Yeah. The Strange Brew, right? Remember that one?
Was that Strange Brew?
Yeah, that was Strange Brew.
I thought it was the two guys. What's his name? The two Saturday Night Live
I got a
guys.
hockey one for you right here.
That was Mike Myers.
Mike Myers doing that, right?
Bob McKenzie, my good pal. Put Rosie to Rose. I know you like when people call you Rosie, eh? Hey, that was a great hat trick you got against Czechoslovakia, eh? Sorry about that nervous breakdown you had, though. I guess it kind of electrocuted, screwed up your career, eh? You had a nervous breakdown, eh?
Yeah.
Take off, you Rosie.
Hey, that's what they should tell the Pats. Take off, you hoser, because we're going to win, baby.
Exactly
Eagles all the
right.
way. Nick Foles is going to walk off the field a winner. And one more thing, Tony.
Yes.
Do you know the other number 9s who've won the Super Bowls in the past? Can you name them?
Number 9.
Number 9.
No,
Winners.
I don't even know.
I want winners.
My brain is so fried right now, Josh. I don't even know what my phone number is.
I'm going to give it to you right now. Jim McMahon. Super Bowl
right.
Double X.
Yep.
One of your favorite ones, right? I know Triple X is like one of your favorite Super Bowls, but this is another good one. You had beating the Patriots, okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Saints, Drew Brees, number 9.
Right.
And I believe you had the Saints, right?
I had the Saints. Yes, I did.
You cashed a ticket at the window. I remember that.
Yes, I did.
And hey, as a note for the Eagles, don't be like the Falcons, because if you do, you're gonna be saying this right now.
Jesus, what a cluster. Jeez. What do we learn, Palmer?
I don't know, sir.
I don't know either. I guess we learned not to do it again.
Yes, sir.
Well, if I know what we did.
Yes, sir. It's hard to say.
I thought Luigi would know all these movie clips.
I don't know what the hell is going on right now, Tony.
Luigi hasn't seen every movie.
Hey, I got one more. Wait, Bruno, I got one more.
Go ahead.
When they have owners meetings, owners meetings, like is it after the Super Bowl, right? Like later this month or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what they're gonna come out and you're gonna ask questions about what they said, and this is what they're gonna say.
Ignorance is bliss, my friend. Don't burden yourself with these secrets of scary people.
And with that, my brother, thank you for putting me on. And go Eagles, fly Eagles, fly.
Well, you just missed one of the loudest Eagles chants you've heard here in Mall of America yet. The Eagles contingent is strong here at Mall of America, my friend.
You know who else just came up?
Yep.
In the broad, we're going to get him in here. That's the kind of power we have.
Some damn crab fries, bro.
Right here, the great Pete Cherokee from Chickies and Pete's. He doesn't have a pass to get in here. Miss Robin is working the velvet ropes.
I had the nicest watch on Radio Row until he walked in.
Yeah, you're right.
Seriously, Tone.
I don't wear a watch. I don't want to be outwatched.
Because, hey, Bruno.
Yes.
Let me tell you something else. Let me tell you something else. You know what I'm saying? You got that?
I hear you, man.
That's right, my friend.
By the way, let me make this declaration. Love you too, Josh.
And I will be watching and wearing my green just for you, Bruno.
Beautiful.
Make
sure you go and watch us on Facebook and all the other, because we'll be doing live shots from the bar
and shots live.
And shots live, and shots hopefully won't be fired at Town Hall Brewery on Sunday, live, baby.
Yeah, man.
You know, they're going to be showing a lot of shots of the people in Philly watching the game, but they'll also have shots of us inside the Town Hall Brewery.
Correct.
Thank you, Josh. By the way,
thank you, Josh.
Yes, thank you.
Feel better soon, man.
Have a good one, you guys. Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you later.
Man.
I feel bad. Pete from Chickies and Pete's, the owner of
couldn't get him in. I was just giving you credit.
Well, no. So, I mean, they are very, very strict about you actually have to have a credential.
He has an Eagles guest pass.
He does, but it's not a Radio Row credential, and they
don't
will
we have
not
any
let
Bobo passes?
But if I'd known, I would have gotten him one. I could have totally got him in.
She got Brian Guntherman a day pass.
How many damn crab fries that man has sold? How many crab fries that man has sold?
I know.
Exactly.
I feel really bad.
He could
if
buy
I'd known.
Mall of America.
He was like, oh, I didn't think of contacting you. You can do anything. I'm like, yeah, you should have contacted me, Pete. Hello.
He's calling all these trapezoid radio stations in Philadelphia who don't give him squat except spend money, and they don't even get him a day pass to come in here.
Speaking of trapezoids back in Philadelphia, I think Jim from Cheltenham is back on the line.
Well, Jim's not a trapezoid.
I know, I'm just kidding. I'm just segueing funny, that's all.
It's not respectful to Jim,
I'm
man.
just messing with the guy. I love him. He loves me.
He doesn't love you, but you can love him.
Just so, Jim, we have to warn you, though. The fantastic Kevin Harlan, his handler is being a little, you know, how they are. Handlers are difficult.
So as soon as he comes on, we might have to run you right off.
Right.
You tell the handler, I will knock his ass out. But unlike Josh Innes and the guy in Houston who were just yelling.
So
yelling
Kevin,
at each other.
Kevin has 2 other places to go to, so he can only stop by for like a minute or 2.
No, he's not stopping by for a minute. No.
Unlike any
I'm
other,
just warning you.
Unlike any other podcast, all these other handlers, you come into our house.
You come into our house, you should get your behind kicked.
And the Eagles chants, Tony, are starting to get the deafening sounds.
And you don't hear any Patriot fans chants, do you?
Nope.
And it's cavernous in here in Mall of America, so you hear it echoing through the
walls.
walls.
It's big, too.
Now, the great John Clark has been in the locker rooms for both teams.
Yes.
And he said that there is a distinct difference in attitude.
Attitude.
And another hot take, and a scorching hot take, is that he has also been in both locker rooms, and he has also noticed that the team colors in the Eagles locker room are different from the team colors in the Patriots locker room.
Well,
and
that's
your
why
hot
they pay
take
John.
right here from John.
Scorching hot take. Now, seriously, Kevin Harlan's handler gives me any bull crap.
I got you, Tony.
We will double team this sucker right now.
will rock bottom him right through that table. Now
let's go to Kevin Harlan really wants to do the stations that he's doing?
Probably
no,
not.
Probably not.
They're not.
Let's go to Jim.
Let's go to Jim. Jim, you there, buddy?
How you doing, Tony? Hear me?
Beautiful. I've survived, almost survived Monday to Friday, but there's still tonight, 2 parties tomorrow, and the Super Bowl party on Sunday. Will I make it? That's another prop bet I think you can get in South Philly, in Manayunk, and in the Great Northeast at Castor and Codman. If you want to bet, will Tony survive all the way through to the end of the Super Bowl Sunday night?
I will say no.
It's a prop bet. Get your money in now. Jim, what's the weather like there?
We had a little snow, like an inch of snow this morning. It's about 30 degrees right now.
So the city is shut down and incapacitated, basically.
You got it.
Did they close the schools? Did Mayor not? Did Mayor Kenny? Did the Philly mayor declare that we're going to put down green salt for the Eagles? Now they have to pay Union $7 billion to dye the salt green, so that when they put the salt down, it'll be officially Union-approved salt, and then it'll be Eagle green. And then when people are urinating in the streets and all kinds of nasty stuff happens, it'll wash right down, and a beautiful green and yellow becomes what color, Robin?
Blue.
Green and yellow becomes like a
Blue.
puce.
Blue. Puce. No, that's the puke. That's the stuff that adds to it as well and changes the color and the pH as well.
Puce is the word I'm looking for, right? The color?
But green and yellow is blue if you look it up online. So
no,
it says blue.
green and yellow is not blue.
Didn't you ever watch Bob Ross when he would mix
these?
Bob
Ross, the boss, of course.
Alizarin crimson.
Blue and red. No, wait.
And
green
the phthalo blue.
Alizarin crimson. That is phenomenal coloring right there.
I used to paint, Bo. I got alizarin crimson
But
at home.
will it be official Union colors if there's 17 guys watching and 1 guy laying it down?
Yes.
Though? Just need to make sure, though, Tony.
That's when you roll. When you got an inch of snow, you can't have guys hurting themselves.
You kidding me, man? You know how long I've been on for? I've been on a job. I'm like 18th in command here, man. 9 guys watching, 1 guy digging.
All right, sorry, Jim. Let's get back to Jim here. Luigi's always got to rip Union people.
I know you're a big Kevin Harlan fan.
Yes, I am.
So he's going to do the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Yes, he is.
But he did do the NFL championship game last week.
Yes, he did. On radio. He does all the radio.
So I have a clip. I have a clip from that game.
Let's go to Kevin Harlan. Of course, the Eagles fans were listening to Merrill Reese do the local call, but on radio on Westwood 1, it was Kevin Harlan in Philadelphia.
This is really a classic call.
Jim is queuing it up. He's approaching the tee box. He's approaching the tape deck. He's approaching.
They have the ball through on 43. In the gun, the quarterback, Keenan wiping his hands on that right towel. Leaning over, looks into the nickel. Now backs up a step. Yells out another projection to his line. Arms outstretched from his own 43, gets the shotgun snap, throws a pass, line drive near side. It's picked off on the near side by Robinson. 40 down the near side, 40, 35, 30. He cuts and breaks the tackle, runs laterally on the 30. Looking for a block, and he gets it. Across the hash mark. Far side coming. Far side line 15, 10, 5. He's in. What a play! Patrick Robinson! 50-yard interception return, touchdown, Philadelphia!
Wow.
How's that, Tony?
That is phenomenal.
Isn't he the greatest? He's the best play-by-play right now.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you, and I know a lot of people, and they're all really good. Kevin Harlan, because as I said earlier, he can adjust the intensity level based on the play that's going on, whether it's the NBA on TNT or whether it's the NFL on Westwood 1. Nobody gives. You can watch the game just by listening. You can see the play as he's describing it. And that's what the great play-by-play people do. You don't have to, you say, he'll tell you left from right on the screen. You know what I mean? Like, so you're imagining where the field is. You're looking at the field, and you know that Patrick Robinson was going from left to right after the interception, and it was great. And you heard that whole play. That's brilliant play-by-play. That should go to the Smithsonian, the Marconi, and the Tesla Hall of Fame.
Tesla Hall of Fame.
And he did 3 other great calls, too, in that game. The Eagles had 3 big plays in that game.
Well, my love for Kevin Harlan is immense. It is immense beyond human comprehension. Oh, is he leaving, Robin? Is he leaving?
Is Kevin Harlan walking? He's going from right to left.
No,
and
I
he's
just
leaving
saw it.
Radio Row.
So seriously, I just watched him. His handler, he looked like he was going to walk out, and then his handler said, "Sit down here," and then he gave one of those, "Oh shit, I have to do another interview." That's what he just did. So he'll really be angry when I'm not going to keep him long.
He's moving past the local Dallas station. He's heading towards the Waco station.
To the left.
He's making his right towards San Jose, and he's moving from left to right out of Radio Row.
Well, I know he has to do a Seattle station as well, and then he has to leave because he's going to another location. So he's going to be in a major time crunch.
Would you like me to go stand near Kevin? Because if he tries to move, I'll make sure I handle his handler and bring Kevin over.
You're going to, like, put him over your shoulder and carry him on down here?
I don't have a problem doing that. I'll handle with care, though, because he's a national treasure, Tony.
With all due respect to all of my fellow broadcasters here, there are a lot of stations, and I don't know how they do this when they plan this stuff.
I know.
They go on all these little Tom, Dick, and Harry stations, and again, I don't know. I was working at Tom, Dick, and Harry stations back in the day.
I work with Tom, Dick, and Harry every week.
Exactly.
Well, here, I will tell you exactly how it happens because I have the inside scoop.
Oh, this is breaking news. Let's go to the breaking news. We haven't had much today.
Terrestrial radio stations that are affiliated with
Westwood One,
right?
I get
whatever.
that.
There is a press release that goes out that's like these are all the people that are going to be on the floor, and then they start booking them way in advance.
I know.
Now, even though we are huge, we are not affiliated with any of them, so we do not get such a press release.
No, I know, and I don't need a press release. I don't need a press release.
But that's what happens. That's how come they get scheduled ahead of time.
But then they hire these local punks who come around and act important, and then they stand on their phones while he's doing an interview, and they have a little stopwatch, and then they give the little wind-up sign. So I can see his handler right now.
Yep.
He's a little short guy.
Yep.
Bad suit.
You know, we've only gotten the and this is actual true story. We've only gotten the wrap it up one time from a handler here, and that's only because I'm not gonna say who it was, but that's only because the person was on here 10 minutes longer than they ever should have been because they were having everyone who comes to this table doesn't want to leave.
Exactly right.
They get product.
It's like a black hole.
Yes.
Once
you get sucked in.
You get sucked in, and you can't get out. And the other advantage, Jim, that we have is that when you put guests on any radio station, and again, this isn't a condemnation of radio. That's the way it works. They'll do a 5-minute interview, then take a 5-minute commercial break, and then do another 4-minute interview and take a 6-minute commercial break, and then come back for a couple minutes and then break for 7 minutes at the top of the hour.
And here's the best part about our program. When we broke for 5 minutes, 7 minutes on end, sometimes 10 minutes, we weren't breaking to give you commercials. We gave you interviews that we were here early in the morning doing. So you had constant content throughout the entire day.
Wasn't that a song by what's her name? Constant content.
Last night, that knowledge you dropped last night of that song. When I said, what was the song that was on that 50 station? And Tony.
Oh, that was the great. Wait a minute. We have to
Eagles
pause.
contingent is strong, my friends.
We have to pause. It's like being in church.
Yes.
When you walk in church and the priest is about to do something important, you can't talk. You have to stop. Like Luigi actually puts his phone, doesn't text while he's in church while the benediction's going on.
There's actually some Eagles fans. I want to invite them to the party.
Let's pass the Dutchie from the left on side. Hey, Jim, we have a prediction?
Before I go, I thought you and Mark Willard were great last night on 1360. That was just great radio.
Well, thank you. I've been lucky. I've worked with everybody, and I've had everybody that I've worked with on the show. That's basically what Super Bowl coverage is for me. But I love Mark, and I love Andrew Siciliano. Luigi's got a long way to go before he gets into that strata.
What do you mean?
Into the Mark Willard, Andrew Siciliano strata. But that's not a knock. That's just the way it
No,
works.
listen, it's my first one here. It's a lot, man. It's been a lot different than what I've been used to. I've been to some big events. I mean, the college national championship, the college basketball national championship. Nothing has prepared me for what this is. And the last 2 days, Thursday and Friday, it has been a head-spinning event, Tony. I mean, just as some of the people that are walking through here, and just there's no time to breathe. I mean, it's literally just react. As we say, it's rinse and repeat. Literally,
yes,
just rinse and repeat, man.
Next year, you know what I'm going to do in Atlanta? I'm going to bring Linda Blair with me because she's the only person who can turn her head around to see everybody in the room.
That's what we need, Tony.
Because that's what you really need. You need your head on a swivel.
And the room is very confined. You're in a confined space. Actually, well, we have the biggest space here on Radio Row. But
have you seen any of the video of this corralled-in area, Jim?
You can see it, right? Robin has it over here. You can see all the.
I've seen it. It's unbelievable how many people are there.
It's very tight, Jim. It's very, very tight. And the people that are walking by here, I mean, they come in like a hurricane. you know, we're in the middle of broadcasting. Tony and I are going back and forth. Robin and Tony and I are going back and forth. And people are handing this piece of paper, hey, do you want this guy? Do you want that guy? Do you want this? And I'm having to stop and handle that. Robin's having to stop and handle it. Tony has to keep going and going and going. It is a 24/7 event over here, man. It never ends. And Tony's up at the crack of dawn coming to do all these hits on these other radio stations.
And I'm an old bastard now, so it's getting harder and harder every year.
Yeah. I don't know how you did the other night. I think you were on CBS Radio the other night. I was listening to you on CBS Radio like at midnight.
Yep.
And the next day you're on Channel 29 at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Tony was laying in bed last night as we're making throat coat tea as a family together.
Man. I still have my voice, though. That's my goal every year, Jim, is to have my voice at the end of the week. I don't care if I lose my voice on Sunday, but
oh, it's going on Sunday, bro.
At the end of this broadcast and some other stuff that we'll be doing live, Sunday, I will sound like Scott Farrell.
Scott Farrell,
who was one of my good buddies, and I did 2 segments with Scott while Luigi was sleeping.
Tony, I like the Eagles 27-23.
27-23, Jim says, while Luigi was moisturizing and manscaping, I was on with Scott Farrell at midnight all the way to 12:30 in the morning, and then I was up at 5:30 and drove all the way back to do Fox 29
I went with
TV.
you, Tony.
I know you did.
I went with you.
But I looked shot. Nobody got to see how shot you looked.
Yeah, I know. I was toast, bro.
You were shot.
But after that, but I went back and worked out for 2 hours though. After that,
I didn't. I went back and said, we got to go back to the media center at Radio Row at the Mall of America, man. Jim, have fun this weekend, man. Let's bring it home. Let's bring it home.
Okay, Tony, have a good time on Sunday.
Thank you, Jim. You too. The great Jim from Cheltenham. It's awesome. Oh. Should we give our picks now before I hope we get Kevin Harlan. But you know, what's his name? The guy who used to play for the Eagles does a sports talk show in Atlanta. Guy used to play defensive line, and then he moved down. Hugh Douglas.
Hugh Douglas, yeah.
Douglas, who's a buddy. But you know, he sits somebody down, and the Atlanta Hawks stink, by the way, don't they?
The Atlanta Hawks or the Atlanta Falcons?
No, the Atlanta Hawks.
The Atlanta Hawks. They're middling. They're middling,
yeah,
Tony. They're not very good.
I mean, they always, like last year, they're the team that starts fast and then finishes.
Oh, they traded Al Horford. They traded Paul Millsap. All they have
but
now.
My point is, you know, Atlanta's a terrible sports town, with all due respect.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Even with the Braves and everything there?
Yeah, because Brave fans don't show up. And I'm not knocking the teams or the players, but the fans don't show up there until their teams win.
It's a killer airport, though.
It's a great airport, and they got a great football stadium where the Super Bowl is going to be next year. You know, but they lost 2 hockey teams in Atlanta. You know, they got 2 hockey teams and lost them. But the NBA team hasn't won squat, and the Falcons blew the big. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, I got a. Thank you, Jim. I got an Alfred Blank update.
What?
You know who he is, Alfred Blank?
I don't.
He's the owner of the Atlanta
I know
Falcons,
who that is, right.
the Home Depot guy. I saw today that he is really, really visibly shaken. This is breaking news. Because a lot of people probably haven't heard this. The New England Patriots Super Bowl rings that they made after last year's win.
Yes.
You know how many diamonds they have in their Super Bowl ring, Robin?
28?
No. Take another guess.
5?
No.
I don't know.
283 little diamonds.
Dude.
28-3.
And so here's the New England Patriots who came back from 28-3. They win the Super Bowl, and then the ownership, Robert Kraft and Company, decide to make a Super Bowl ring with 283 diamonds
That's
in
epic.
it.
It's
and
epic.
So if you're the owner of the Falcons, you get it. You know, you take your lumps and your team choked, and Brady came back. But imagine having the stones to 283 stones in your Super Bowl ring.
I love it.
Is that not rubbing it? Is that not taunting? That should be a penalty. You know what should happen? When the Patriots take the field on Sunday, Gene Steratore, who's the referee, immediately throws a flag for the opening kickoff for unnecessary celebration.
No, for
unsportsmanlike conduct, unnecessary celebration. The New England Patriots, you will start 15 yards from the spot of the kick, and the Eagles will go in and score and end it for the Patriots once again. 283 diamonds in it. They didn't have platinum chains with diamonds in it. They had stinking Super Bowl rings. Now that's an outrage.
No, but it's freaking funny as hell.
It's funny as hell.
But listen, I mean, with all due respect, you were down 28-3 and came back in the greatest comeback in the history of the Super Bowl.
No doubt.
So, you know what? Yeah, I think you can rub it in a little bit.
Yeah, and again, the Atlanta Falcons will live forever.
It's dirty, though. It is a dirty move,
They will forever live with 28-3, just like just like the Minnesota Vikings fans who came in as the favorite, they're going to always remember 38-7 and the chance to play at home. And they don't like the Eagles fans because of that stuff. But you don't see Atlanta fans going crazy and ripping the Patriots because they came back and beat their team.
Because you want to know why? You have nothing to say. You have nothing to say if you're an Atlanta fan. Zero. I'll tell you what, though, Tone, while Robin's trying to effort getting the guest on, we do have one more phone call. Do you want to knock this phone call out?
Yeah, let's knock out
another
we don't
have
no
call. We have zero. We don't have no. There's my Philadelphia coming at me. We don't have a call screener this evening.
Let's do it blind.
We're just going to go blind. So 631-413. Area code 631-413. You're on the line.
Where's the 631 area code?
It's not near the 215.
Who is this?
Hey, it's Brandon from Long Island.
Manny from Long Island?
I think we spoke. I'm a Jets fan.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember. Did you curse at me and say bad things to me at one time?
No, I never did.
I get the Jets fans confused. I love most Jets fans. Jets. Jets. Who do you like, man? Who do you like? It's Friday.
Eagles.
Is it because you're a Jets fan and you have to hate the Patriots because you're a Jets fan?
Yes, I mean, there is a show, Time vs. Time. I don't know if you've seen it on Facebook, but I mean, it made me respect them a little bit more. But still, I want the Eagles to win.
For gambling purposes, or just for flat-out football knowledge, understanding the way the football games play with the football players in the National Football League? Manny?
Yeah.
Is it because you are a gambling degenerate like most people who will be watching the game on Sunday? Is it because you're just a knowledgeable understanding of the matriculation of the ball, the aggressiveness of the defense, and the coaching adjustments that we know that the great coach of the year, Doug Peterson, was able to administer the rest of this entire season as your Philadelphia Eagle head coach?
It was both.
Exactly.
It was both. I mean, Carson Wentz went down.
Yep.
Nick Foles was quarterback. Mm-hmm. You know, he's a backup quarterback. You never see backup quarterbacks in Super Bowls.
The Birds are taking it home, man. The Philadelphia Eagles are taking it home. And I will have the trophy in my hand Sunday night at Town Hall Brewery.
We'll both have our hands on it, Tony.
So, Robin, let's get an update on Kevin.
I have an update.
Thanks, man. We have a Kevin Harlan update.
I do have a Kevin Harlan. He has to do the KJR.
I did that show yesterday.
Right. It's a weekly hit, so he has to do that. And
then what?
And then he said, I don't care what my handler says. I am coming on with you. I promise I will be over there.
Well, it's already 4:15, and Tony has another obligation.
The obligation is this show.
Yes.
Okay, no problem.
So that
I don't
other
care
obligation,
about going on another radio station.
He can push back a little
saying,
bit.
Holmes.
So since we have we have about 10 minutes before Kevin is going to be able to come on.
And that was Arthur Blank, by the way.
Arthur, who did I say? Albert Blank?
Yeah, you said Albert. I didn't want to correct you in the middle.
No, you should have corrected me because I know it's Arthur Blank because I've talked about him all, especially the Home Depot stuff, because he's the co-founder of Home Depot.
And you've been to Home Depot several billion times when his home renovation is never finished.
He should be sending me free plywood.
The one good thing is, though, by the time we get back home, that incredible over the range microwave I bought for you guys for Christmas is going to be in because they had to get it shipped in.
And I'll get it signed by Arthur Blank, and he'll sign it to Tony, 283. Go Birds.
So
what'd you pay for it? 283. Tony, you've been nursing a cough, buddy. All right,
I know. I hope I'm not going to die of pneumonia.
We got to get you some lozenges, Holmes.
So since we have a little bit of time before Kevin's going to come on, I suggest that we play another fantastic interview that we did a little bit earlier.
What do we have for them now, Ms. Robin?
Hall of Famer Carl Eller.
Oh, when you talk about Minnesota legends, we had Rod Carew on, and then when you talk about football legends,
Purple People Eaters, come on, man.
Hall of Famer, the guy's hands are massive. He's a great man, and I'm honored to know him, the great Carl Eller.
Well, you talk it up as if I'm completely ready when I just
thought you were.
Act like you're ready. It looks like you're ready.
When you tell me we have Carl Eller ready, I don't. You just say give me 10 seconds, count it down. It's not like I'm talking up a song where I can hit the post.
I just sat down, and you're like looking at me.
But you went as if you were ready, and you weren't. And that's why I said I'll go to it. Give me a little music and I'll talk it up. Play a song and I'll talk up the song to the vocal if we have anything we have.
See, what you need to do is you need to wait for my hand cue.
Okay. But you said we have Carl Eller, and I thought we were ready. But
no, I said we should go to the fabulous Carl Eller.
Okay.
You want a little music, Tom?
Yeah, give me a little music to interlude. Yeah. Yeah. You've been banging some good. This show's been lit. It's been woke.
Now I'm ready.
Wait, let me just say, Insane in the Membrane is the real story of this week.
Let's fade this one down. Let's bring Robin's interview up.
Let's go to the great Carl Eller.
Right, the Super Bowl craziness is getting crazier because it's Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday, a little quiet. Today, absolute bedlam here. And then we get to see the legends, and that's what I love about doing my 29th Super Bowl. Is a guy that I used to talk to on the phone all the time, but now get to see him face to face. One of the all-time great Minnesota Vikings, Carl Eller. The Purple People Eaters are still alive, man, and rolling.
Well, hey, it's ironic you use that phrasing because we actually are one of the only one that has all original minerals that are still around, you know. But hey, we've been here. We're lucky, you know, to be able to stay in the area. A lot of us still stay in this area, so it's Purple People Eater fandom is very alive and well here.
Hall of Famer, all the Pro Bowls, and we were talking before you came on. We went downstairs yesterday for the big media party in the amusement park area, and I saw the home plate where Rod Carew stole home 7 times, because that's where it actually was when this was Metropolitan Stadium, where you played when you played outside in Minnesota, not indoors.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is on the grounds of the old Met Stadium. You know, those late, you know, December games, you know, the field would be frozen. And of course, that's where people, you know, really identify with the Purple People Eaters, the cold, ice, snow, and all that kind of stuff out here in the Met Stadium is what it was then.
Now, I know the people here in Minnesota are disappointed the way, because they could taste that Super Bowl in their own building, and you know, and then they went to Philly, and the Eagles pretty much dominated them. Were you surprised? I mean, you're disappointed because you're a Viking.
Sure.
But were you surprised at the way that game turned out?
I am totally surprised. I didn't expect that. You know, they went in, and the Eagles really handed it to them. They really played an excellent game against the Vikes, and the Vikes has a good team, a good personnel. They just got caught up in a couple things that they weren't ready for, and so it was the Eagles' day. But the Vikes are a good team. They'll be back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a great facility here, and that stadium is just world class.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love it there. It's a great stadium. I actually have some artwork in there. You know,
oh, really?
If you guys don't know, I'm a potterer, so they've got one of my things on display, which I haven't talked about very much. But hey, that's cool.
That's
oh wow!
It's awesome.
We'll have to go check that out.
Yes, I haven't been to the stadium yet, so
yeah,
I'm
it's
looking
downtown.
forward.
When you get down there, you have to
I've
go
seen
check
it. I
out.
drive by it on the road when I'm going back and forth between St. Paul and here at the Mall of America.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Now, how long have you been doing pottery? Has it been a passion for a long time?
It's been a passion, but I've only been active in it the past, 7, 8, 9 years, something like that.
Now, do you do the whole pottery wheel thing?
I have the pottery wheel. I have a kiln, and so I do a lot of hand putting it together.
Very cool.
So. Now, do you play the theme from Ghost when you're doing?
Have you recreated the famous scene yet?
No, I haven't. I'm not even sure that I'm aware of it.
Because my love life is basically the same thing as that pottery that they were doing. It just falls apart right in your hands. It's
exactly.
all
Oh, it does that.
We're talking with the great Carl Eller, defensive end, Hall of Fame inductee back in 2004. How many Pro Bowls, Carl?
6 Pro Bowls. 7 All-Pros.
Those are great. Those are great teams to watch. Those are great games to watch. I know the game has progressed, and you're a living proof of it, because now we're seeing, back when you guys played, guys would get concussed and they'd go right off the field, and the trainer would put 2 hands. How many fingers am I putting? Now we have gone beyond that now to where we are so concerned, and it's something that it's about time that we're taking care of athletes instead of saying, hey, just rub some dirt on it and go back out there.
Yeah, well, that's basically what they did. Rub some dirt on it and put a Band-Aid to cover it up. That was the treatment those days. Yeah, but the game's changed a lot in that area, and players are getting better health. They're getting better taken care of. One of the things that I do, is I'm president of the National Football League Retired Players Association. And so we advocate for benefits, and that's come a long way. So it's a big difference now.
And you're doing stuff with Sanford Health, which is a well-known organization around the country, and obviously Carson Wentz's neighborhood up there, they have a big facility as well.
Well, they have a big facility. They're doing great things, and they're doing a lot of things with the amputees, you know, with Wounded Warriors. Not all are amputees, but they're such a significant part in this area in the Midwest. They're a big unit, big outfit. You know, what I like about them is they're like a hometown, you know, and they're friendly people. They meet you, and you go there, and you know you're going to get treated well, and they're very generous in the community. So I'm very happy to talk about Sanford Health and the Wounded Warrior.
Now, I have a question for you. The players from your generation, are you talking to them about all the concussion injuries and the lasting effects of it? And are you seeing that even now that there are, you know, the people that are still there, that are still with us, is there anything that can be done that can help them now after all this time?
Well, what you're seeing now in some of the players, we see real symptoms. I mean, their memory loss, things like that. That's a big sign. So we actually see guys with the effect of it, you know. What we do is we try to, you know, sort of moderate the transition from like the active players to the retirement, because we want them to be prepared for the retirement. So if they do have health problems, they know where to go, they know how to get benefits, and they have just a much more enjoyable life post-football.
And Sanford Health, you mentioned the Dakotas and Carson Wentz, obviously, in that area. But so if people want information, because the NFL, the Players Association, finally sued the NFL and got their just due as far as the money that they should be giving to guys like you who laid the foundation for this league.
Well, that's true. Their benefits a lot better, but there's still a lag or a distance between what the current players get and what the other players get. So we're still fighting to kind of bring that together. But yes, Sanford Health has really been a great asset to us in the community, and a lot of our players use their program. So that's really, really good.
Well, that's great. It's an honor to see you, Carl Eller, one of the all-time greats. I loved watching you guys, the Purple People Eaters, back in the day when football was played outside in the dirt and ice and snow and mud.
Thank you, Tony. Good to see you. Good to reconnect with you again.
You too. The great Carl Eller joining us here on Radio Row. The great Carl Eller, as I'm getting now Beechwood aged, as we wind down the Friday festivities. Kevin Harlan's going to join us next. We'll play a rock block for you, maybe a little purple rain going out to honor Prince here in Paisley Park. We'll
Tony has his suave voice on.
We'll play maybe the entire side of Inagata Davida by Iron Butterfly.
Just remember, you ain't on the couch. You want a love seat.
Damn right, baby.
Now, FYI, we do have some amazing, fantastic video interviews that we just didn't get to do yet, play yet. And so I promise you that I will post these up individually.
Everything that you've heard this week and you want to hear it again, maybe you have a romantic dinner. And you say, you know what, it's Friday night, man. There's nothing good on TV.
All of these interviews are epic. These are, and you're getting stuff because Tony asked some questions that nobody else does.
Exactly. Like what's your favorite ice cream flavor? I got 31 flavors and then some. What do you want now?
The Cantina cards. Got some Eagles fans over there. Yeah, I want to help some people out.
Hand out some tableside guac. We'll be giving out tableside guac.
And make sure that they know about the party.
Give out the party favors. Not favors. No, we don't have party favors.
All you have to do you notice all he has to do is call birds. Birds.
Birds.
Hey, yo, birds.
Go birds.
But I ain't giving them no free margaritas, though.
No, we're out of free margaritas.
Oh, we are?
That's why.
Our margarita to guac ratio wasn't identical.
No, it was not.
Who took all the margarita coupons?
That was you, bro. You've been handing them out like candy.
But I hand out one of each. So how is it that we still have more tableside
Check your pocket.
Guac? I don't have any in there.
No, I don't think that they were equal. I think that the Fabulous Jay just picked up a stack of each. And
it's sort of like Nick Foles and Tom Brady. When you look at the poster here,
one of these two things is not alike.
They're not equal.
Now, people that are tuned in, yes, we are overtime. Yes, we are kind of vamping because the fantastic and fabulous Kevin Harlan swore to me, he looked me straight in the eye, and he goes, I don't care what my handlers say. I know I have to go at 4:30, but I will be over to Tony's table.
And you know what's interesting? This is going to be, you know what's going to, let me repeat. Let's start over.
One more time.
Take two.
From the top. Here we go.
Who was our last guest on Radio Row last Friday of Super Bowl in Houston? The last interview, the last guest on the Friday of last year's
You know what? I forgot about that. You are correct about that,
Kevin
boss.
Harlan, the same situation, making the rounds on Friday, and then again after being run around by all of these.
You know what? I think it's the same handler.
Radio
No wonder he looked at me so nastily, because he remembers me from last time, keeping Kevin and bringing him over.
So keeping the tradition that you've had.
It's a streak now.
It's that the traditions are you have to see Inez signs.
Yes, which we did
which is done. So that's one.
Correct.
Then you have to interview Holly Robinson-Pete.
Yes. Yep.
That's two.
She's my homegirl.
Yep.
And to complete the trifecta
is Kevin Harlan.
But
then we mix in an Andrew Zimmern that you don't get to hear all the time.
Right. You sprinkle in a little Carl Eller. We get to talk to the great Rod Carew.
How about Paul Morrow?
Paul Morrow. Chef Paul Morrow was great.
Jeff Morrow. I keep calling him Paul.
Now, we haven't played him yet.
I know, but that'll be available for you to go and check out.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Jeff Morrow from the Food Network
He's
TV
a lot
star.
funnier than I imagined.
He has he has a sandwich show, and you know what the one question is? I failed as a journalist. I didn't ask him the quintessential question that had to
Is
be
a
asked.
hot dog a sandwich?
Exactly.
I was waiting for you to do it, but I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to steal your thunder and ask the greatest question of all time to a
You're
guy
not
who
stealing
owns
my thunder, right? We were talking about so much good stuff and food
and wine. We were drinking on the
and
table.
wine.
You know how we get. You know how we do over here. You get a couple wines and you know what I'm saying. But no, seriously, that
I
was
did
the
not
one
ask
question.
him.
No, you know what? We could have asked Andrew Zimmer the same thing too.
I know. We'll ask him at the Taste of the NFL and I'll bring my tape recorder.
Now I'm excited.
And we'll do unanswered questions. And then we'll make up for our errors by asking those questions on Saturday night.
For those listeners out there that do not know what the Taste of the NFL is, I've never been to one. This is going to be my first, so I'm very excited about it. Tony, can you explain to them why the Taste of the NFL is so awesome?
It's all 32 teams send a representative, the chef from that city. So there'll be a Philly chef, Buffalo. The first one I went to, the chef at the Buffalo, the place that invented buffalo wings in Buffalo, New York, the Anchor Bar is where their birthplace, and the chef knew me, and he came on the show, and he was the first guest I had, and then he invited me to the Taste of the NFL. But it's another great charity event. Pay money, and this is the only event that Luigi will absolutely, positively love.
I loved every event.
No, but you know, this one will be your favorite.
That I've been able to go to.
You've only missed one event.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
I'm glad I missed it.
And it sucked.
Yeah.
Here's why this one will not suck. Because you heard Andrew Zimmern. All 32 chefs will be there. And every single chef will have a tasting of one of the food items from that particular city. So just imagine, you know, it's a little hors d'oeuvre, but it's a taste. Now multiply that by 32. And then Andrew said that there'll be more than 32 this year because they'll have a lot of local stuff,
right?
Not just Minnesota Viking food. So there'll probably be 40 tables with different foods. And Luigi Curto,
I'm going to try every one of them.
You will, and you will not. That will be the first time he will not say,
"Where's the damn food?"
Where's the damn food?
But in all due respect, I'll appreciate this because Tony, I mean, in all kidding aside, I mean, I can cook. You know me, man.
Hold on.
Jan can cook too,
I
man.
have breaking news.
Yeah. Oh, wait, breaking news?
This is a total and complete outrage.
Wait a minute.
Ed Nasta on Twitter chiming in saying that he wanted to let us know what an outrage this is. A woman told him that she wanted to reserve a table for 4 at Xfinity Live.
How many?
For the Super Bowl viewing party that they are having there back in Philadelphia. Just to reserve the table. No food, no drinks.
No Tony Bruno.
No Tony Bruno. $800.
Are you kidding me?
$800 just to reserve a table.
Am I allowed to say something about this place? Can I say something about this?
No, you can't. No. Don't say it. They're good people. I mean, this is supply and demand.
I understand that,
but
Tony.
Still,
but
to
charge
outrage.
people $800.
You know why they're going to charge people $800?
Because they can and people will go.
And people will pay.
You want to know why?
Why do they charge $1,000 for a bottle of vodka in a bar? Because people are paying for it.
Why? Because you got to herd the sheep in there. Because you want to know why? Because it's like it didn't matter if you weren't there to experience it by the stadiums. To charge, they're going to make so much money regardless of charging $800. To charge people $800 just to sit down, Tony, and have to wait. If you're going to charge me $800 before I get anything at all, before I'm even ordered a drink, if I have to wait more than 30 seconds for a wing, for a beer, for a napkin, or to go to the bathroom, it's a freaking outrage. To spend that kind of money, you better get bottle service at the yin yang.
Let me again. I'm not defending Xfinity Live. I just understand that that's how it works, and the Super Bowl is a rare event. But I don't know whether that is so. When you make a reservation, you don't cancel at the last minute. So they do that, and they put that on your card. Again, I don't know if this is the case, but a lot of restaurants do it. You make a reservation in a tough restaurant, they'll say, we're going to put $800 on your, not $800, whatever the car, $100, non-refund. It's refundable if you call at a certain time, and then they'll take it off. But if you don't, then they're stuck with a table for 4, and then what do they do?
They're not stuck. They can give it away in 2 seconds. If you're not there within 15 minutes, that
I
table's
was trying to look at both
if you're
sides.
Listening, if you
I'm trying to be, and you don't have to say if you're listening. They have to be listening to hear what you're going to say, Robin.
Correct. Well,
it's still an outrage. No. I think it's an outrage. And now I do have a follow-up. The local man, Mike, said that we picked a awesome location for our Birds fans party here in Minnesota.
And you know what the cover chart here is in the shadow of U.S. Bank Stadium? What's the cover chart to get in to a great brewery, by the way, with microbrews that's won 15 gold medals? And you mean
but I have to finish what he's saying.
Okay, go ahead.
So he says that they make really great beer at Town Hall, but then he had to add the little zinger at the end. He goes, I just hope that they're serving you with plastic cups.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me being in the shadow of the stadium where your Philadelphia Eagles, if you're locally listening, are playing in that game, where you can be here in Minnesota and feel like you're with your fans, with your fan base.
You can look out the window. A place that
has a phenomenal menu, which we sampled yesterday. All the craft brews you want. Ample space. Large screen viewing for everyone. And you're telling me what they're going to charge for something like that. Tony, I got to be honest with you. I would charge upwards north of $150 to come in to enjoy this kind of
event. Just to see me, it should cost you $150.
Right. But you know how much they're going to charge?
Absolutely niente.
Nothing.
Now, Joe Jenkins is saying, he's replying on Facebook, he's saying that people should go to the Palladium, which is right around the corner from Xfinity.
That's across from Chickies and Pete's. That's an old-school Philly bar.
Great place to watch games. I'm sure the Chickies and Pete's is probably going to be...
Every bar in Philadelphia is going to be mobbed.
But if you want to charge, listen, if you want to charge $50, $75 to get in there and you have, like all you can drink domestic or whatever it is, yeah, it's a viewing party. I get it. You want to be with the fans. I understand. But to gouge you $800 but
just
to sit down is sick. That's it. And you want to know why, though? Because they only have several tables. The rest is for a bunch of people standing around who I might add, are all going to get their drinks from the same exact bar that you have to wait for your waits to get through. There's no way you're going to get the bang for your buck to be there. No.
It's just people want to be with other fans.
No, but I understand if you're in Vegas, Tony, and you're at one of those big ritzy clubs, you got the bottle service, everyone's coming over to VIP, it's cool. But if you're telling me yeah, man, I had bottle service at Xfinity for the game, drop $2,000. $2,000 at Xfinity makes you a baller?
Again, I'm not defending people. If people weren't willing to spend the money and the place was empty, guess what? They wouldn't be charging. But here's the thing about a lot of these places. That's what they do when there's a Super Bowl. It's happening here.
Oh, you can.
The fact that this city...
We have more Eagles fans lining up here now to see you, Tony.
The fact that the city, doesn't like the Eagles fans, the fact that a bar with a great owner, Pete Rafakis, who came here yesterday, is willing to let us use his bar, bring Eagle fans in, not charge a cover charge.
Give me the guac.
The what?
I want to hang out with some Eagles fans from guac.
And you're going to buy food and you're going to buy drinks. That's the way you get into a place and you're around your friends. And you're in the Super Bowl city where a lot of fans that we talk to don't have tickets. So they're not going to go back to their hotel room. If you're in Minnesota and you made all this expense, airfare, hotel, and you can't get tickets, people are still trying to find tickets. A lot of people have tickets. But many who don't know where to go. So we have a place now. And that's why we're doing it, and that's why the people at Town Hall Brewery that won all these medals at the Denver National Beer Fest.
Yep.
That's the biggest.
We have created an Eagles nest here.
Yes, we have.
In Minneapolis.
I did a little recon, by the way.
What do you mean?
After I dropped you guys off,
did you drive by?
The
did
bar.
you?
It's badass, bro.
It is bad. It's
badass.
Did you actually go inside?
I didn't go inside. I couldn't park. It's downtown, so it's a little difficult. But because of all the hoopla that was going on with the EA party, it was a little difficult to park on the street right there. It'll be much easier Super Bowl Sunday. However, I drove past just the windows. Top notch, bro.
You can go online. Just look it up online. Townhallbrewery.com. You can see the menu. You can see they'll have 40 beers on draft. 40 craft beers that they brew right there. Right there.
I can tell you right now, I might taste, but I'm not going to order any beer that has less than 9%.
Robin?
I'm just saying.
So we also have some other breaking news.
More breaking news?
Yesterday on the show, we had some folks from Twitter here.
Yes.
Okay? And the great TJ from Twitter.
Yes.
And he asked me to put a poll up to see if Luigi can get verified on Twitter to get me the blue check mark I so deserve.
Exactly.
I do.
But Robin doesn't have either, and she's been
I'm
much
more active
with me.
I'm much more active. But that's only because she's tweeting for you, Tony, most of the time. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. The results of the poll are in, Tony.
Oh, I love polls. Especially scientific Twitter polls.
70% exactly of America believe that I, Luigi Curto, should be verified on Twitter. So you hear that, and I tweeted at it. So you hear that at
the poll over? Did it end?
The poll is I just got it. The poll is
24-hour poll, right?
4:14 p.m.
How many people actually voted in this poll?
742 people voted, and 70% of America believes that Luigi Curto should be verified on Twitter.
Give yourself a roaring round of applause.
I appreciate that, brother.
But then also give yourself no shot to get verified because of it.
Now, the fabulous Dean.
The poll said that Hillary Clinton was going to win the presidential election. Nate Silver over at ESPN, Mr. Statman, was completely
Not the Scatman.
No, not Scatman Crothers. No, but then there was Scatman Crothers, too.
The fabulous Dean in Clearwater is chiming in.
What's so fabulous about him?
He said, I would condone rioting in Philadelphia if the Eagles lose and you had to pay $800 to watch it.
I would pay $800 when I found out how much it cost for me to get in there. I'd go in there pissed off to begin with. So if the Eagles lose...
I am pissed off.
Exactly. Thank you, Harry.
What the hell is going on back here?
I don't know.
Where's Kevin Harlan at? Where is he?
He's doing KJR in Seattle.
He's finishing it up.
950 KJR Seattle.
So, Tone, we just did all this other stuff. We were just vamping for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But earlier you did mention the fact that we do have a billboard up there, and on one side of it is Tom Brady, the other side is Nick Foles.
Yes.
So why don't we just get down to the business, just you and I, for a few moments, and Robin as well with her pick.
Give me the NBC.
Before, I don't want the NBC.
No, that's the game's on NBC.
I don't know if I have it. I don't have NBC, Tony.
I have it, but I don't have my tablet here.
I'm going to go old school, though. We'll go old school. A little NFL film.
That's good.
I see Kevin Harlan standing up.
He's standing. He's looking.
He's going left to right.
He's going left to right.
You better make your picks in soon because he's heading over here.
Looks off the back, out of the backfield. Now he's going long. He sees Nelson Aguilar streaking down the field. Nick Foles stands up, goes deep.
Literally streaking with no clothes on.
Absolutely perfect spiral.
And it's dropped by Torrey Smith.
No. Torrey Smith made one of the greatest plays in NFL championship history.
All kidding aside, throw the records out, Tony. Before the season even started, could anyone ever imagine that it would be on a poster for Super Bowl 52? Tom Brady on one side, yes.
Yes.
But Nick Foles on the other, Tony.
Yes, this reporter can say without any equivocation that when they brought Nick Foles back,
you knew it was going to be
it was simply for this reason, so that if something happened to Carson Wentz, that you would have someone who could take the reins. We saw other teams not able to do it. The Green Bay Packers weren't able to do it when they lost
90 seconds.
When they had lost Aaron Rodgers. Now, they played okay. The Dallas Cowboys didn't lose their quarterback. They lost their running back. They finished 9-7. Not good enough. But the Eagles are the only team that have been able to endure the loss of their Hall of Fame all-purpose back Darren Sproles. Hall of Famer. Is there any doubt about that?
Yeah, Darren's in the Hall of Fame.
That's not the answer. The answer is there's no doubt about it. How about your all-pro Hall of Fame left tackle? Is there any doubt about that?
No.
Exactly. Two Hall of Famers right there. They lost their starting middle linebacker, who was a Pro Bowler in the making, Jordan Hicks. They lost... they lost Caleb Sturgis early.
How about their quarterback?
Well, the quest later. I'm giving you all. They lost their best special teams player in Chris Maragos. And what happened?
They still kept rolling.
They rolled. And then people all over the national scene and local scene gave up on Nicky number 9, on little Nicky. Not little Nicky Scarfo. We gave up on him a long time ago.
Not little Nicky, that bad Adam Sandler movie that was made.
I just saw Kevin.
Oh, he's coming over.
Kind of
hold it right there.
It's about damn time.
Let's hold it right there, because this is it's a tradition now. It's a tradition, ladies and gentlemen. No, you don't apologize to me.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize to me.
I've been looking forward to doing right here.
Don't apologize. I know your handler doesn't like me.
And I know you've been doing this, but you know what we have, Kevin Harlan?
Have you smelled these candles? Have you smelled these
Yes.
candles?
They smell fantastic.
Oh, my gosh.
They're made in Tyler, Texas.
I know it,
Have you smelled what The Rock is cooking?
No.
Now,
Let me smell one of those.
Now, what is your name, sir? Christopher Prudhomme. Have you been to the Boudin Bakery in San Francisco by any chance? Do you know Chef Paul Prudhomme?
I know
the
that
Cajun
name,
chef.
yes.
Yeah, well, he's no longer with.
Right,
Kevin
he's dead.
Harlan. You know what's amazing, Kevin?
What's that?
Last year, you were my last guest on Radio Row last year, and you're my last guest this year.
What
It's
does
like
that
a
say?
tradition. It's like
Well,
the Rose Bowl. It's like
let's keep it up
the
then, right?
Masters.
We saved the best for last. That's what it is.
Well, you're so
And I
sweet.
appreciate it. I know Westwood One's done a great job, and we're not a Westwood One station, so I know you have to go and take care. Like NBC had all the NBC stations there, and I get that. You have to take care of your
clients.
clients.
You are so good. You know, when I hear your voice, I just love your. I love your gig. No, I do.
Well, thank you. No,
I
you're
do.
we played your cut in the championship game. You were in Philly last week.
Yes.
Did you get anybody throw a beer bottle or beer can at you, by the way?
No, they were good. They were all very good.
Those fans are fired up.
Yeah.
And so the call of the interception is one of the great calls. But you already know that. The one thing that you do that, and I admire all the greats, but you keep the level where it's supposed to be, and then the intensity rises, and then when it reaches its crescendo, that's when Kevin Harlan delivers the goods, man. Delivers the goods.
Coming from you, that's very nice. Coming from you, thank you, Tony.
Yeah, you don't just give it out all at the beginning and then not have nowhere to go.
That's what makes it
you
great.
allow it to
And he's
build.
doing radio, so when he does NBA on TV on TNT, and then he does the football on radio, which is harder because you have to describe the. And then when you listen to you do play-by-play of football, I see the field. I see the left to right.
It's a great challenge. Radio's challenging.
It really is.
I mean, right? It's much. Radio is much harder. Doing this show is difficult, but stamina.
No, doing the show is just a couple of idiots sitting around and talking.
I know better. You're so wrong. My God, this is art. It's art. It's tough. It's hard to do, and I like the challenge of radio. I love the challenge.
So how many Super Bowls now for you?
8 in a row.
8 in a row.
And 9 overall.
Wow.
Yeah, so
and then you're still doing your. Now, did you do a Timberwolves game while you were here?
No, I'm with TNT, and so I did a TNT game last night in Denver.
Oh.
The Denver Oklahoma City game, and the kid hit the last second shot. And
I can't keep track of when ESPN has the games. I just turn it on and I who's
there
got
they
the
are.
NBA
Yeah,
game
okay,
tonight?
there's the game. There's
and
the
then
game.
Kevin, so you came in from Denver, which that's not a long flight.
No.
Now
Because
you're
it was an hour and 50 minutes. It was a breeze. It was nothing.
You're great at the NBA. You're great. Is there anything you haven't done in broadcasting, Kev?
I don't think I could do this. I don't
Yes,
think
you
I
could.
could.
Come on.
No, I don't think I could.
This is the easiest thing
no,
to do.
No, it is not.
I could never do what you do
No,
as far as play-by-play and the
I
brilliance.
think you. I
might.
Bet my,
Nah,
no, you could, Tony. I know you could.
I don't
yes,
know,
no, you could.
Okay, you two.
This is like pathetic. This is so pathetic.
Seriously.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to chime in here. You got two greats over here, but it's just like, oh, stop it. No, you stop it.
I love you more,
you
Kevin
stop
Harlan. You never loved me.
Why don't we light the candle and dim the lights for you?
Yeah,
too?
let's light the
Seriously.
candle.
Yeah, fine, we can do
Let's
that.
pour some
Jeez.
wine. Do you have any wine, man?
No, we got some beer. We got some beer.
We got beer.
You know, I'm hosting
Beer
a
up here,
Super Bowl party in this town. You know, they don't like the Eagle fans here because of what happened, and because obviously they were so close to having the game in their stadium.
And that's in your background, isn't it, Philly?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
We found one
Is that
bar.
tonight?
It's Sunday during the game, so you won't be able to do
actual
it
viewing
unless
party.
you can pop over for halftime. Give a little
Let me
pep
check
talk.
with
It is
my
right
guys.
across from the stadium,
Yeah, it's
but
right down
yeah.
the
Well,
street.
that's fun.
But it's a well-respected town hall brewery. They've won more of the Denver National Beer Awards.
Yeah,
That's the biggest one. They've got 15 gold medals.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So they do craft beer, food, and we'll have fun. And so all the Eagle fans who can't get into the game, and everybody's welcome.
And there's going to be a lot of those people that cannot get into the game.
And there's no cover charge.
There's no cover.
Where are you getting that on Super Bowl
You're not
Sunday?
getting it any place.
There are
You
bars
kidding
in
me?
Philly charging $800 to get in.
I know it. Come on.
And you know what you get for that $800? Nothing.
Butkus.
Butkus, not Dick Butkus, of
not
course.
Dick Butkus,
Isn't
no.
it Bupkus or
It is Bupkus. I screwed up on that. I'm
okay.
sorry. It just shows you I couldn't do the show.
Actually, Bupkus was Rocky's dog. It's a sign, Tony. It's a sign.
It is a sign.
So, Kevin, I mean, obviously, the championship game, it didn't turn out to be compelling
I
for the
thought it
national
would, too. I
audience.
was shocked.
I did, too.
I
Well, actually, I said the Eagles win by double digits, but I didn't think it would be that easy.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought
I didn't either.
I thought that they were being underlooked, and Minnesota's great, and Atlanta
Eagles played well against them, and especially in the second half, and Foles got in rhythm.
Yep.
But they came out of the gates after when they scored the first touchdown, Minnesota, almost effortlessly. You're thinking, uh-oh, this could get
Rudolph
ugly.
is wide open. It's a 25-yard pinpoint pass by. You're thinking, this kid's on it again.
I know.
They're going to roll in their first possession. They're in for 6.
And that was their only score.
I know it.
Unbelievable.
And then after that, and then 38 unanswered or whatever the final was.
So now who's doing the color analysis?
Boomer Esiason.
The great Boomer Esiason.
Mike Holmgren.
Yep.
So we had 3 in the booth.
I saw Mike.
Yeah.
The other day.
Yeah. Did you talk to him?
No, I didn't get a chance to. There's like 8 million people here.
Yeah, I know. And it's amazing.
It
is.
A
lot of people.
Now, Tony, because
I know he's got to run, and I want to thank him.
I don't want to get his handler even more upset at me than he already
he's chilling
is.
now, man.
He's going to see it's
Are
the
you
other guy.
following me on Twitter, by the way?
This is just one of them. It's the other
Kevin, you're
guy
following
who
me,
knows
right?
me.
Of course. Kidding me?
It's the other guy who knows me. He's going to see me coming, and he's like not going to talk to me ever again if I don't get Kevin out of here.
I always have to talk to you, man, because I don't get to see you very often. Now, when you come into Philadelphia to do a Sixer game, I'll come out.
You know, we've done a couple of Sixer games, and I was there for that Laker game when the Laker kid hit the jump shot to win the game in the last second.
We were there
shot.
too.
Oh,
we were
no.
in the building.
Don't tell me that.
Yes.
You weren't there for that game. We were
Yes.
there. No, we were there not for the Lakers. We were there for the Golden State Warrior game.
Oh, okay.
No.
When the Sixers blew a 50-point lead, and
No, the kid that did the free he did like he managed.
No, that was at halftime
Oh,
thing
whatever.
when a guy was
Sorry.
not the Laker game.
Sorry,
Anyway.
Tony. I was all excited.
Well, you got me excited.
Oh yeah, I did.
Well, next time
That's
you
what
come,
counts.
seriously, you have my information.
I do have your
want to come
information.
and see you do a Sixer game because obviously they're an up
You know
and
what I
coming
want to
team.
do? I want to go meet for lunch and get a cheesesteak.
Let's do
I
it.
want to take you to the best place for a cheesesteak.
I'll take you to the best place that no one knows about.
Good. That's
'Cause
what
know
I-
them
that's what
all.
I want.
And they're all good, but I'll take you to one.
We're
going to
take Andrew Zimmern. He's never been to this place
Oh,
as well.
really? Oh,
Yes.
really?
and he's
That'll
looking
be
forward to it.
fun.
Yes.
That'll be really fun.
And it's
Now,
not bizarre
really
food.
quick, we gave you
I know. I've got
the
them on my
pair.
bag. My bag is back in the.
We gave you the pair last time.
Yep.
They have upgraded now. They have
What?
fantastic designs, and now so that you can switch
magnetic.
designs. They're magnetic. I have my pop socket on too. But see, you just pop them off, and you still have your glasses.
All of them? All this?
Yes, you get all
of
3
those.
designs.
The game
Are
has
you
changed.
kidding me?
Thin optics, baby. They're always with you.
I love these things.
So
And a keychain.
and a keychain too.
Oh my gosh.
Kevin, love you,
set.
man. Thank you so much
Love
for
you
coming.
too,
I know
Tony.
you can't
Great
do
to
a
see
prediction,
you.
but I hope that the Eagles have a shot.
I think
That's
it's going
all
to be a
hope.
great game.
I think so.
that we got the 2 best teams, 13-win teams. I don't think Foles is the question mark. I think how Brady handles the front 7.
Exactly.
I think that's going to be a huge story.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Tony. Great to
Try
see
to
you.
keep that. My voice will be shot by Sunday, but you'll sound strong as ever, man. On Westwood One, you'll hear it all over on Sirius XM, right?
Thank
what
you.
channel are they on Sirius?
80, is it 88? 88, the great 88?
You'll
maybe?
find it Sirius XM
Yes.
NFL Radio.
Yes, yes.
Westwood One on many great stations around
700
the country.
stations.
700 stations.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yes.
You'll hear Kevin Harlan everywhere. And then now that the government shutdown's over, even overseas,
Yes,
right, on Armed Forces Radio.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
Awesome,
thanks for
man. We
mentioning
want our
that.
troops
Yeah.
to hear the Super Bowl.
That is very important to us, and we think about that. We really do.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Thanks,
we're
Kevin.
playing music for just a second so you can take a picture.
We'll take a
Okay,
picture.
good.
We'll be right back. I got to take a picture with Kevin Harlan, and then I'm going to go and crash and then go out to a party tonight and drink.
Cash rules everything around me. Green get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
He is phenomenal. He is phenomenal. Huh? All right.
Okay, now you can do your quick pick, and
then we
we're
gotta get
done.
outta here.
We're
Yeah.
done. We gotta go.
Okay.
We're already an hour behind.
That's all right.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Why are we? What? Anyway,
I don't-
I'm picking the Eagles. I think they win this game. Here's this. I hate doing scores. Bottom line is they're going to win, so the point spread doesn't matter. And
This is all hands on deck, Tony.
it is the next man up. I think Darren Sproles comes out if he can and help them in the end. No, the
give him a
Eagles
play.
are going to win this game. I'm not going into the 40s and all that. I think they win this game 28-17. to 24.
Oh, so it's going to be a little bit of a tight matchup.
So 4 points lead, and Brady doesn't get in and do the come from behind and win it in the.
Oh, so you believe that it's going to be? See, I was going to ask you to draw a little bit of a picture at the end of the game scenario.
No, Eagles are up by 4, so that means Brady needs a touchdown to beat you.
Right. So
they can't tie with a field goal.
Right. So Philadelphia up by 4, and the defense will be on the field to stop Tom Brady and win Super Bowl 52.
There you have it. It's on tape.
Okay.
Luigi, your pick.
I foresee a little bit of a higher scoring game.
28 to 24 isn't exactly a defensive
No,
struggle.
no, it's not whatsoever. I see a little bit more of a higher scoring game, though. And I actually feel a little bit more of a comfortable victory for the Philadelphia Eagles.
It could be.
To the tune of 37-24.
Wow.
37, and I do believe that you will see Tom Brady coming back on the field in the fourth quarter numerous times in his defense, turning them away, and him throwing 2 interceptions in this game, Tony.
There you have it. That's
37-24.
So Luigi says 37-24.
37-24 with Luigi.
I actually
had it 28-21. No, I have it 28-24
right.
Eagles.
And I woke up with these 2 numbers in my head, 28-21. Eagles.
Oh, for Eagles, okay.
28-21, so a 7-point win. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Robin, 28-21 Eagles. Luigi, 37-24 Eagles.
Yes, I'm going upscale. And Tony, you do realize the number one thing, the common denominator for both teams in this game, and it's the last hot take you will get.
Go ahead.
For the entire Super Bowl run, because after this, I'm signing off for good.
Good.
This game right here is an absolute must-win game for both teams.
You're absolutely right, man.
Da-dun-da-da.
Now get the hell out of here. Or as my good friend Senator John Burton out in San Francisco would say after that hot take.
Oh, wait. Oh, I'm allowed to play it?
Yeah, play it at the end.
I'm allowed to play it? Ah, yes. I'm allowed to play. Tony, set up one last time.
As Senator John Burton would say.
What is going on here? Hang on one second.
I also want to thank everybody for tuning in.
I will, but I'll do that. Let me just.
We got to do this real quick.
I got to do this.
I've been waiting.
This is like the salutation. The Sam I am, as
Here we go,
Harlan
Tony.
said. Luigi.
Thank you.
Then shut the fuck up and go outside, all right?
Oh, thank you. All right, now that's official. We got to thank everybody, Robin. Bonnie Jill Laughlin from the Puppy Bowl. Rod Carew, Hall of Famer. Heart transplant survivor. Craig Gass, the comedian videographer. GetGass.com is his website.
Oh, with Rod Carew, you have to.
And the family, yes.
Family, Mary and Ralph.
Mary and Ralph Rulin, whose son died of a brain aneurysm, who's 29 years old, and then he was a organ donor, and his heart
an amazing
into Rod
story.
Carew, who's number 29, and his number's retired.
I want to talk about it, man.
Retired by both the Minnesota Twins and the California Angels. Both have retired.
I was crying throughout the entire place.
We want to thank Andrew Zimmern from the Travel Channel, a good friend now. We can call him. You know, people say, "Oh, friend of the show." Andrew Zimmern loves us, and we love him, and all the other people that made this show possible. ThinOptics.com. Go check them out. Order online. You can pick out any design. It's unbelievable the stuff they have. And when you order and check out, Tony Bruno Show, put Tony or put Bruno down, you know, in the checkout. And then they said, you have a promo code? You put Bruno in there where it says promo code, and you get 15% off just by mentioning the show. And, of course, the great people at Switchboard Live. You take one stream, and it goes to them. Switchboard Live. It makes it go everywhere. Making it better.
There's so many applications for Switchboard, whether you're a business owner, whether you're a gamer, whatever it is, even for family reunions,
yep.
you can stream to different people. I mean, it is so fantastic.
Your uncle's fighting in the backyard.
Or for weddings, for people that can't make it there. Like if I'd been able to use this when Kimberlyn got engaged, my daughter,
yep.
It would have been so much easier for people to see it all over.
On Facebook, on Twitter, on everything. Switchboard Live. Go to switchboardlive.com. No, it's
switchboard.live.
And all the information's in there. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. You don't have to worry about bandwidth. They take care of it for you. It's a great invention. And don't forget to see us if you're in Minneapolis or you tell your friends in Philly, come on out to the viewing party, Town Hall Brewery, 3 o'clock Central Time. So that's 2.5 hours before kickoff. We will be lit, woke, and everything else you need to be. And we will be doing live stuff from the Town Hall Brewery so you can see what's going on in Minnesota, back in Philly, or anywhere else in the world while this game is going on. It's going to be awesome.
Now, before we go, Luigi has something to say that he would really like to add.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, and it's a little tough It's a little tough. It's getting misty-eyed. I'm not even going to lie to you. So 4 years ago, I started doing this, and my ultimate dream was to someday be able to broadcast at Radio Row alongside my idol, which is you, and my Eagles be in the Super Bowl. It's been a hell of a long week, man. It's been a lot of craziness and fighting back and forth, and anxieties and frustrations have been high.
Except for me. I'm totally calm.
Tony, this has absolutely been my dream come true.
Well, thanks, man. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
you can make it
No,
with us,
I'm
man.
dead serious. Thank you for everything you've given me, Robin, the same thing. But
it's tough
you
love,
don't, you don't get to start to say, I'm going to quit my job, and someday I'm going to broadcast on Radio Row with Tony Bruno alongside all these other people, all my peers. And my hometown Eagles are going to be in the Super Bowl.
And they're going to win
Tony,
the Super Bowl.
It freaking happened, Tony.
Yes,
it
did.
happened, dude.
Dreams do come true,
It
man.
happened.
Dreams come true.
I love you guys, man. I
Hold
appreciate
on,
it so
we
much.
need to get these Eagles guys over here.
Yeah, get them over here. For
They're
one last
everywhere.
chance.
Can you tell them to come over here? Tell the Eagles guys to come
I don't
over.
think Vikings fans are going to tell Eagles fans to come over here.
No, they're going to tell them to get out of here. You know what they're going to tell them. Anyway.
Tony, I think
Hold
we
on,
need.
hold
Come on.
I'm going to try to get him.
No, it's a good thing we don't have a hard out on this show.
You know what we're going to do, though?
What are we going to do?
We're not going to do the old original Get Out. I'm not going to do the outer limits out. We're going to go old school, Tony.
Let's go old school.
Yeah, we're going old school. I'm not doing the outer limits out. I'm going old school, Robin.
This is old school.
They went the opposite direction.
I'm making an executive decision.
All right.
Tony.
So be careful out there, everybody. Stay safe. Don't overdrink. Don't do anything crazy when the Eagles win the game on Sunday night. Show the world that we are not animals. Show the world that we are real fans who have been waiting for a long, long time in Philly to finally get that Lombardi trophy and make us all proud. So we'll see you all over the weekend. We'll be going live on Facebook. You'll get the notifications. We'll take you to the parties.
Tonight we'll be daunting the incredible tuxedos by Dominicos who helped us out.
We're getting tuxed up tonight and tomorrow for 2 parties.
2 at the same time, Tony.
Dude,
correct.
Will we survive? Find out all over the weekend when you tune in and follow us on Twitter. We have all that stuff at Tony Bruno Show, at Luigi Curto 22, at Miss Robin Austin on Twitter and Instagram. We'll see you over the weekend. God bless America. It's a beautiful country, even in the bold north.
Ever see